like my nose.
Please don't. You're gonna have to sterilize that afterwards.
Well, and that
Sure.
and ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're starting this
All right.
starting this show.
Here we are.
A candid moment from Donut.
It happens.
Naturally Gnar, season 3, episode 9. We are live with
Woo!
these fine folks: Joe,
Woo.
Donut,
Woo.
Maggie.
Yeah.
What's up?
Welcome.
What's up?
What's up?
Scot Ripple in the house.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. He's here.
I know he cares
He's here.
about that.
He's here. Well, I had to announce you're here, so I had to
Yeah, I'm
announce
here.
you. I'd at least make
Yeah.
that sort of effort.
I see
Yeah,
people leaving.
they're leaving as they know that Scott's here. Yeah. Gravity NWA, Matthew Mark Foundation. Joe, start
Yes.
us off, man.
Okay. Thank you
just
for having us.
Dude,
I'm going to start by saying I brought
Welcome.
you gifts.
Oh,
I
Dude.
brought you gifts.
everybody
So
loves
let's-
gifts.
Yes.
I'll take it. I will take gifts. I do.
My wife and I started a business a while ago, and I like to exercise my Second Amendment right.
Mhm.
Like we
And-
all should.
And so I used to draw all these funny targets.
Those are great.
And my wife digitized them.
Let me see.
Oh,
let,
so
let-
that is
let me
got a
see one
pack
of those
for
puppies
you.
here.
This company,
Scott's got one there.
I got you.
Okay,
and these are my last 2 hats because the
Oh,
business
bro, yeah.
has dissolved and it's failed.
So
It no longer exists.
tyrannical targets.
It just
no
ran
longer.
its course. That's
Yeah,
all.
there you
Yeah,
go. There you
ran
go.
its
There you go.
course.
They're like
Gotcha.
tiny
And
kawaii
we got
dictators.
memorabilia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Thank you,
there
brother.
should be some paper.
Oh yeah. We
targets in
should
there.
we should pull one out
Um,
to
Yeah.
And
at
yeah,
least to show the
that was the idea.
the
Some
audience.
tyrants of history
Mhm.
there.
Maybe afterwards we go all back.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, like, that sounds fun to me.
yeah
We'll
right.
light them up.
We can. So yeah, let's talk about maybe we should start with Gravity NWA and that presence, and then the transition, Matthew Mark Foundation, and how that
Okay.
is presented.
You just want to get into it.
I do.
And can I introduce our friends as we're?
You absolutely
through, or-
could. Yeah, as you wish.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm ready. I'm on the spot.
You-
Podcast.
that's
I feel like
right.
I'm- I
That-
feel like I've
that is how podcasts work. We hit record
Okay.
and stream, and we're here.
never done
And we've never done this
Have
before.
you listened to a
The,
podcast?
the
Well-
key is to forget about all that part and just start
Yes.
shooting the shit.
Okay. All right.
There, I said it. It's the gates are open.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, Gravity NWA, we started it a year and a half ago or so. The idea was well before that. And I was talking to Maggie on our ride over here and kind of how everything came together and then uncame together.
Is the uncoming together a story that can be shared?
Yeah,
Sure,
absolutely.
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 That's
So the original idea was we got our friends, former business partners.
Mhm.
Shout out to our friends the Courts. They're awesome.
Mhm.
But they wanted to do something else. So they had an idea of doing an indoor bike park type thing. That turned into, we found a piece of land and we can put some jumps on it, get some airbags on it, and have it be like a progression space. And it happened to be really close to the rail yard. And that fell through after we'd got the bags, after we'd kind of got all of our assets in. And after I was like, well, I'm going to get rid of a couple of these other jobs that I had. And so
you dove in fully
I did
before
that's
that.
kind of what I do.
Sure.
And
Head first.
and
Yeah.
and I was like, this is cool. This is gonna be great. We all got our PMBA 1 and 2s, as this was all happening, and then so that all kind of fell apart. The land, sorry, too much liability. We don't want you to, you can't do it here. So we were like, what are we gonna do? And I thought, let's go mobile. We have all these bags. Start reaching out to people, see what we can do with the assets that we have. Let's be mobile coaches, mobile airbags, mobile jump events. Fine. And it was great, made some good contacts, teamed up with Kohler, made some good friends. And then they just kind of were like, I don't know, this may be too much. We don't want to do it anymore. I want to do something else. Cool. Do something else. And within that time, I'd always wanted to start a foundation literally called the Matthew Mark Foundation for 7 years or so, 6 years. Can I go into who Matthew and Mark are?
I would love to. Yeah. Because I want to preface this too, because like I think that when you're like looking at like how the community has seen this from the outside, I kind of want to like act as that, like how it was just perceived from the outside. Was that it was something that you may not have been able to do with Gravity, that having a foundation would allow you to do more or do it in the way that you wanted to do it. That was the assumption.
Okay.
I think.
And if you have any questions, ask.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
will answer. To my best.
Yeah.
ability.
Well, I guess first off, why Matthew Mark?
So I had two really, really good friends from elementary school, 6th grade on. I moved to San Diego in 6th grade from Hawaii, from Riverside County, and I was born in Fontana. Moved to Hawaii when I was young, 3rd, 4th grade. Moved back to San Diego, so my parents got divorced, and then came back to San Diego. My dad met another lady, and single mom. Me and my sister and my mom. So from 6th grade on, I was in San Diego, and Matt and Mark were two of my buddies from early on. We learned how to skateboard and surf and snowboard, riding bikes together, like the whole thing.
The crew.
Yeah. Matt and Mark.
Love it.
And Mark, I moved back to Hawaii when I was 18, and Mark was my roommate for a long time in Hawaii, and we did all kinds of ridiculous things.
Was he your surf buddy?
He was my surf buddy. He was a boogie boarder.
Oh, okay.
Made fun of him a little bit here and there, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was cool. No, it was cool. We'd always harass each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was my surf buddy. We'd ride our bikes to the beach, go surfing, do silly things, drink a lot of beer, hang out.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And so I left Hawaii after living with him for 4 years. So anyway, my point is, Matt and Mark, I have tight bonds with these guys. They knew a lot. I think they're still in existence.
Yeah.
But they knew so much about me, and I knew so much about them. We could blackmail each other for forever. But we wouldn't, because we were
because of the bond.
Because the bonds,
Because of the
man.
bond, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, so it sounds like it's like homage to like maybe like growth of the culture that you're trying to impress onto to others, possibly.
It is. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Matt, Mark, 7 years-ish ago, and within weeks, first it was Matt, and I get a call from Matt, and he's just, I love you, man. I love you, bro. And then days later, Matt's dead. And same with Mark. And it was just like a shock, and I should have known. It's like one of those things I should have known.
Like when you got the call.
I should have known when I got the call, and I should have said, I was only 2 hours from him at the time living. I was like, hey, man, I don't care. It's a Wednesday night. What are you doing right now? If you need a buddy, I'm coming. Like, I'll drop everything. Yeah. And Mark was still in Hawaii at the time, and so I'm 43 now, so this is in my early mid-30s? Mid-30s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mid-30s.
Mid-30s. Math.
Math, yes, thank you. And same with Mark. Mark called me. Not just me. Matt and Mark called a handful of our tight buddies from high school, middle school. Mark, same thing. Hey, man, I love you, which was very weird for him. He's usually the guy like, you're such an idiot.
It's one of those things where like you do love your bros, but like you don't tell them.
No, never. I was like, thanks, Mark. I love you too, man.
I do love you, bro.
I love you too, man, but stop getting weird. It was one of those like,
are you high or something?
Yeah, are you okay? Yeah. And same thing, days later.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of heartbroken, and I at the time I was living with my grandparents because my grandpa got really sick. So I quit a high school teaching job that I had and moved in with my grandparents to help take care of them, because they asked. I didn't have a family yet. I was one of the only like cousins that didn't have a family yet. So they said, "Can you move in with us and take care of us?" Okay, I'll make that sacrifice.
Absolutely.
So I was living with my grandparents, which is humbling, in my 30s. But I was taking care of my grandparents, and lost my grandpa. Then my buddies died, and so since that, to tie into Matthew Mark Foundation, since then I've always thought I need to do something to honor their name, and I've always thought, and I've always told Kai, Matthew Mark Foundation, got to do something with this. And the original idea was just a mental health and wellness organization for people that just need friendship and kindness and love, and just like if Scott was sad or something and he just was like, man, I just need somebody to talk to. be like, hey guys, I got a cool core group that won't judge you, won't make fun of you, and just hang out with you, be your friend. That was the idea behind it. And then when Gravity kind of started getting dissolved, we couldn't come to terms with one party keeping Gravity, so we just decided to split up the bag, split up the money, and dissolve it.
Sure.
And I was like, Kai, Matthew Mark Foundation is going to be like mental health, wellness, well-being, mountain biking, mentorship, ministry, and at one point I'm going to add music, because I was a music teacher and a classroom music teacher for like 12 years. A lot of my background is in music. So that's where that came into place, was creating this kind of like idea, this cool space for kids to be mentored and to have like a safe place and mountain bike. And we got a partnership with Pedal It Forward. They're like, we'll hook you guys up with bikes. People that I've met through Gravity that I've said, this is what we're doing now, have been nothing but supportive. And the contacts just keep getting, more and more and more
Sure.
for this kind of mission, this idea of just creating this space for children to be mentored on the trail. So tying into my new friends here is
Totally great way to segue into finding those people.
creating a cool group of people that are good coaches, good people, good humans that can mentor and be a good example to kids. Because I don't assume, but I mean, I came from a single mom, and I always had these like dudes, boyfriends that were in and out of, my mom's life. And it was always hard to like have this like consistent mentor. Being in the classroom, I was always like,
too.
You too?
Yeah, my mom was too.
And maybe this is like why we all like meet each other, we connect, we're all just like nice, because we just want to be kind and nice and create just like a cool vibe, and like let's just be nice to each other. Can we just do that?
Can everybody just be nice?
Can everybody just be nice and have fun, right?
Yeah, it is possible.
I mean, but I thought if you were mean to me, it meant you liked me.
Oh no.
Maybe.
Usually, with my friends, that's usually what I mean.
Yeah. So with James, can I keep going?
Sure, absolutely.
So James, I've always been like, man, I need to get a little more stylish and tricksy. And James and I had some interactions on the social medias, just like smiley faces, hearts, and all that stuff. And
He told you he loved you.
Real bro stuff.
He slid into my DMs.
Right.
Bro stuff.
And then I saw him do an ad saying, I give lessons, and I didn't know you did give lessons. Sometimes you have no idea. People post stuff, but you don't know what they do.
Right.
And he's like, let's ride together. So we rode together. It was really fun. And I was like, dude,
instant bromance.
You wanna? And then it was like, I have this thing. Do you want to work together? I definitely feel like I need to. If I want to work with somebody, gotta be friends. Gotta be cool.
Sure.
With them. Especially on like the mountain biking level where you're like out and about, similar interests.
Yeah.
And we were like, boom, great friendship, and then so now he's a part of this new endeavor.
Sure.
Maggie, before her and Steven moved here, it was all the same thing, just like Instagrams back and forth, but not like James and I. Just like cool, like nice stuff, nice comments.
Like, I love what you're doing. Like that looks awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
And just like kind of fueling the stoke. I think.
Yeah.
Of riding.
Just spreading stoke and kindness. And we rode rehab ride, the first rehab ride. They just moved here.
Yep.
And they're like, we're coming to your rehab ride because I just had hip surgery 2.5 months ago. So.
And then I had my wrist surgery.
You had your wrist.
Yeah.
And
we were supposed to ride greens and blues.
I know it was.
And all we rode were blacks and
We
rehab ride was, yes.
And I'll never. Everybody's dropping the hammer, and I'm sitting there like, I gotta take it easy. I broke my wrist. And then finally I was like, I can't do this anymore. I gotta go.
Kai didn't hear that.
No, you weren't doing it.
Just to be clear,
you were filming.
Joe did not drop the hammer.
Look, on this show, a lot of things get exposed. So this time it's you, brother.
Yeah, it was kind of the same thing. We were like, you're super cool, and it was when was it? Was it 2 rides, 3 rides deep? We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, you're such a good rider. Do you have any interest in coaching? Yes. All right, cool. Let's do it. And that's that. And
that's crazy. Yeah.
And then we met you guys through James, and it's just been like nothing but
awesome.
just meeting cool people and good vibes.
It's
and,
great.
you know,
Yeah.
It's totally
Yeah.
great. And I mean, like, you know, I know that it's kind of hard to like paint this into one, you know, a one pager. So I appreciate you like putting it down and like and trying to like put it on one page, because I know that the vibe and the stoke is like a lot more. It's like bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, there's days and weeks and months of how friendships and relationships form.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like, you know, if you guys are really gonna like assist with the mission, it's like it doesn't just happen overnight, I imagine.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of collaboration via text sometimes, or an idea pops in your head and you're like, oh my gosh, this would be cool.
Oh my God, so many missed group messages.
So
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The other day when I went to my phone and it was like 18, I was like, oh boy, here we go.
Gotta scroll and try to get caught in on the whole conversation.
Yes.
You have to do research just to
Yes.
respond.
Right,
yes,
right,
yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's great too, because I'm the only Apple user, so like I get all of their little heart, thumb, blah 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 notifications instead of just it reacting on the message I
No,
sent. So.
it honestly, dude, it's vice versa. It's like if you're like anybody can relate to that one, the Android iPhone like group messages. Everybody's got them where it's like liked,
Yeah.
hearted, emphasized.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
I wanted to give a little shout out to the chat. We got Get Real in the house.
Yo, get real.
Brad Weasels and Kaylin Bird.
All right.
Kylan, that's
Kylan.
Kylan, that's my wife.
That's
Oh,
oh, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Kylan Bird's in the house. What's up?
Appreciate it.
What's
All right.
up?
Joe did not drop the hammer.
I did not. I've never dropped
No,
the hammer.
Kylan.
Ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
Yeah, we were just
It's
joking.
all edited.
Yeah.
We've never had like a live getting busted.
Yeah.
So we got a first.
Have you ever had 3?
We got a
Get a
first.
t-shirt.
Well, they have to incriminate themselves
Whoa, whoa,
with
okay.
something. So
Oh,
Come on.
gosh. Okay.
I
We're
dropped the
innocent.
hammer.
I dropped the hammer.
Well,
I
she
kinda
did
dropped it
say
on my
she
foot.
did say she heard that, so I think
okay.
now I know what she means by that.
Yeah, I heard that.
I heard that. So she's prepping the couch when you get
I
home.
love you. I love you so
She'll
much.
get that sheet real nice and tight on
You know
those
what?
cushions.
He's got a pretty nice couch. I would
Hey,
sleep
sleep
You
on
take
it.
the couch.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cozy. I sleep on it every morning.
Yeah, she might throw some rocks under the sheet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, so-
Yeah.
So right now you got Matthew Mark Foundation. You're kind of transitioning. Even myself, it's like I'm trying to like be considerate on how to transition, like into more like promoting that.
Yeah.
And
It's tricky.
it is tricky.
And it's something
it really is.
I've talked to Kai a lot about. Like, how does this make sense
Sure.
with we're this and we're turning into this?
Well, and I think the bigger issue / opportunity.
Yep.
Issues or opportunities, is that you generated such a name for Gravity,
Mhm.
you know, and that like, how do you take that audience and move them over to where they understand the same mission, you know, and what you're doing, but also trying to enforce the revolution that you're trying to do with the movement, you know, so like you're trying to, fellowship seems to be the keystone of this, and how do you show that? You know, it's not an easy thing, and same with the group, doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You know,
I think it's just constantly reinforcing that change, like every post, and that's why like I've been taking both of them just so people start to look and see, oh, this is turning into this, and that constant messaging.
And then you kind of do less of one and more
Correct.
of the other,
Yeah.
and you just let it organically happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, we got nothing but time on our hands anyway.
That's right.
So.
well, I think there's in this world we have this like this fear that of being behind, and you feel like I got to just do this now. It's got to happen now. I got to drop it. I'm behind. I should have done it last week. And I think everything, any good thing happens with like care and time invested. So
Intention.
just give it time. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna come. You know,
Absolutely.
especially with having folks like you guys ready to work
Yeah.
and ready to put some stuff down.
Just
Bring it back. Bring it back.
bring
I
it
was
back.
ready.
ultimately just fun to be
Uh,
with, man. You guys are so much fun to hang around and stuff. Like
Thanks.
if you haven't hung out with these guys, man, you're missing out.
I love rewatching some of our Vide videos because the hooping and hollering. Oh my god, it gets me. There's when I was okay. Can I tell it?
No, tell
okay.
absolutely. Please do.
So when I told y'all I wasn't gonna drop the hammer because I was trying to be careful, and then I went and did it in the whole full pull or whatever, which I had done it last year, but I was coming back off that injury and just a little nervous. So anyways, everybody's just so stoked, and it was like the fire inside me was like burning. And so when I did it, one of my favorite videos is when I did the step up, came around, you're like, woo, screaming. And then I hear Nash screaming, and I hear you up on the hill. Scott, I was just like, I don't know. It felt so good. It's just like, so it's so easy to feed into that, It just
I
feel
appreciate
good.
it.
Well, I think we've already coined it as the Joe Joy sounds, right?
Joe Joy sounds.
Hearing your friends yell in excitement for something is better than any trophy.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
It feels so good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
I know I've told you guys this story, but I haven't told everybody else. But I'm like editing the airbags at the Bella Vista Chill Park.
Oh,
and
boy.
And I'm like, I was just gonna do a segment of just everybody jumping real quick. So they all just ended up being like 3 seconds of somebody just hitting the jump, landing, and every one of them. Just, I swear to God, even Leanna was like, bro, who keeps yelling, right? Yeah. And it's the same thing. It's like, and some of them were just like short. Some were like, and it's like, and then one time Joe's jumping and I heard, and I'm like, did I hear that? Like, how did he do that? It was so freaking funny.
That's so true.
That is
I could have swore
Joe.
he did it to his own jump, dude. It was hilarious.
No. So when he's in the air, I take over for him. Yeah.
Same tone and
It
candor.
was the greatest.
That is the whole reason he brought me on was to
Yeah.
make whatever he
Yeah.
does off the jumps.
He needed another Stoke buddy.
Yeah.
You are a great motivator too.
Yeah.
The first
Yeah.
time we rode, you were like, yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
I mean, it's the reason I don't have a voice half of my life.
Screaming,
The other half, I'm just screaming,
hooting and
wheel
hollering
lifts and
the
shit.
whole time.
Yeah, genuine stoke.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
especially on
I
trail.
love it,
like-
man. It's so fun.
And I think that's what's great about like the clinics and one-on-ones is when you have coaches that are gonna just make you feel like nothing is too small, right? It's all awesome. It's all an accomplishment.
Yeah.
That is something to be like
That's
celebrated
great.
no matter what.
That's
Yeah.
So great.
No, and it falls like you're stoked on people when you're at one. Like I've been to a couple clinics now, and it's like, you get people from so many different like skill levels, and it kind of falls in line when people go, what's Gnar, what's Gnarkansas, and it's like, it's not like, oh, I can jump these giant 20-foot tables or anything like that. Gnar is like, what's Gnar to you? What did you do that pushed you through a barrier? That's Gnar. And it's so like watching you like hype people up that maybe just did the little jump, that never jumped before.
They
and
did them,
and
though.
they made it,
They
and
did.
he's given the same Joe Joy sounds that he would for somebody that's hitting the 6-footer,
Yes.
and doing
Well,
a whip.
Yeah, and I can relate to that in skateboarding too, because like I think that's something that I think any like action sport, if you want to call it that, thrives on. It's like when your homies are stoked with you and you're all just in there vibing and they're just stoked because you landed something, whatever it is for you. Like it's what moves you forward. It's what gets you to the next step.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Every time.
You make friends, you know each other's ability level, so then
Oh, yeah.
Like they did something with an exclamation mark for them or for me,
Absolutely.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I get pumped.
Yeah.
I remember when like my first drop, I'll never forget this. So this was just a few years ago. So, and it was maybe a foot. And I had taken a lesson. I had practiced the smaller ones, and I was coming in. It was Cuyuna, Minnesota, and it was that small. But I was with two guys, like Steve and our buddy Randy, and they were patient. They were, like we were gonna celebrate that, right? And they got their GoPros out, just like if I was hitting the hammer,
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And I remember being so nervous, and then when I did it, and I remember watching the video like 1,000 times afterwards, the screaming and the excitement, and it was, and then my buddy made a video of me doing it, and I was just like, oh my God, that's me. So that feeling is like, I can relate to somebody else who's doing, like, it doesn't matter how small it is, it's your accomplishment, and that's awesome.
Exactly. Something that's like pushing you beyond your
limits.
Your limits, and,
Yeah.
and it's so. I mean, Donut and I did it the other day. Like, I was terrified to bring my pedal bike out because
to do the hammer.
my progression in the last year
Yeah.
has been on an e-bike, and before my knee surgery, I was beginner with a sprinkle of intermediate. So like I learned everything in the last year.
Was it a donut sprinkle?
The donut sprinkles, and you know, he definitely put some donut sprinkles on it for sure because. Man, I had a blast, dude. I was like hitting everything on that bike. And,
wow. That was just a year ago? Because you were doing like 1-footers now and everything. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
yeah,
he goes
well,
hard.
well, last year, Bentonville Bike Fest, our buddies came from San Diego, and we were all just like sessioning spots. And we were at Hammerdown, and we're doing the step up, and we were all like, all right, we're all doing something that we've never done before. What trick have you been trying to do that you can't do? And everybody had one, and they were all different.
That's
you know,
awesome.
one was a T-bog. Mark Hills was grabbing the front tire. I don't know the name of the trick. but
Tire grab.
Tire grab.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've been wanting to do a 1-footer, and so we all just session the hell out of that thing until we all did it, and we were all just like so stoked and having a high five
That's
because we
awesome.
all pulled it off, and I've been just trying to get better at them ever since, but now I'm kind of just stuck in a spot, but that's a whole another podcast.
No, this is the podcast for that.
Yeah.
Specifically,
That's a
this
whole
is that
yeah.
podcast to
You're
talk
straight
about
ripping
that.
on that pedal bike, bro. Like,
That's awesome.
you don't need your e-bike anymore. You got the pedal
No,
bike.
I don't. I actually was like feeling like I was actually being better on it.
Yeah.
You can
know?
be more playful, I think, on it.
Yeah.
But don't abandon the e-bike, Scott.
No,
So-
I was not better at climbing.
Some of us love
I
ours.
was not better at climbing. I'll say that. But, everything else was solid.
He climbed fine.
Yeah,
Climbed fine.
yeah.
He kept up with me well.
I climb way better on
Yeah.
the e-bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Same.
love climbing with you on the e-bike.
Oh yeah.
That is
I
my
gave
new
him his
favorite.
first tow.
Like, I don't need an e-bike anymore. I can just bring a tow rope.
Oh,
Yeah.
we actually just got one, Steve and I.
Yeah?
Yeah, so.
I own one as well.
Oh, good.
So
Okay,
like I
we're
can just
set.
latch on to my. I can leech off of my e-bike friends basically.
That's it. That
Yeah.
no shame. I do the same.
Yeah,
Aaron,
I-
do the same.
that's what I was telling him.
Yeah.
I was telling
Aaron
him, and I go,
Knox?
I
That's
tell
right.
Brandon
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
good.
Could we go into origin stories?
Oh,
you just
dude,
moved here.
absolutely.
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
not
What is
what I
your
thought
We need to.
childhood
We need to.
now? And then James.
What?
Wait, you mean mountain bike origins, right?
No,
Yeah.
your life.
We can
we
go-
talk
we can
about
go-
like
Dude.
you know,
We've
life.
only been like in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time. Let's
Yeah.
go.
origin stories.
Let's go.
Are we talking about
Mag-
like my superhero origin story or like my origin story?
I say superhero.
Spoiler alert:
I say
they both
su-
begin with darkness.
I say superhero.
I feel like you should go first. You've already set the page. I
set
am
the-
excited.
set the
Let's
tone.
do it.
Maggie's like, I need to hear your story.
Yeah. Now, I'm like, don't stop now. Let's do this.
No, see, that was all of a sudden. I was just doing that to build hype for later, so I could come up with a story while you went.
Oh, it's too late now, bud.
Fuck.
Freestyle.
Right. So Maggie,
Okay, yeah, thanks.
what are you doing in Northwest Arkansas?
Okay, so that's.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'll give
yeah,
you my
that's-
mountain
Why
bike
did you
origins
come?
because I feel like that's.
You don't mountain like where were you born?
Okay. Well, if you guys
Brothers
can't
and
tell already,
sisters.
you probably already know I'm from Wisconsin. So
I thought you were from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
and if I get a couple more of these, then the accent just gets a little thicker. Okay.
Oh, really? Perfect. I think
But
that's what we're going for.
okay, good.
Yes.
Oh, that I see. That's where. Let's
Yeah.
do some old fashions, then we'll really get going.
Okay. All right.
Had them those
I think
last
we're
night.
gonna need a pause for that. So let's
We're
just keep
going to
going.
need to take
yeah,
a break.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm from Wisconsin, born and raised. So I was there pretty much my whole life. I took a little, randomly, I took a stint and lived in China for a year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was
wow.
crazy. It was in my late 20s, and I just I think I had my midlife crisis a little earlier than everybody's. I just wanted something new and different and an adventure, right? And as weird as this may sound, like, you know, I grew up in a small town and I wanted to go somewhere where I was a minority and I could experience things just being a complete outsider and just a new culture in general. So that was really exciting. Some highs and lows. So I did that in my late 20s and then but came back, stuck around in Wisconsin.
Where in China, and what did you do, and how long were you there?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
and did you ride a mountain bike?
I ended. Okay, that's a good story too. So I was there for 13 months. Like I signed a contract and worked with kids. That's typically what everybody does when they go there.
That's like over a year.
Yeah, I know. I was there for over a year.
It's a commitment.
You're so good at math. Yeah. So I went there and taught kids, you know, as best as I could. You know, we had translators and stuff like that, and
Teaching them English?
yeah, yes and no. So we would do like, I lost my voice for a while, when I was there and when I came back, because we did like gym classes too, which is fun because they'd have like airbags for kids, right? But not for bikes, but like jumping on and all these like fun things inside, and I'd yell it in English like what to do, and then my translator would say it in Chinese, and it was an experience.
Did
you know,
the translator lose her voice too?
Yeah, absolutely, both did.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
crazy chaos.
Nice.
It was fun.
That's funny.
And then so that was cool. I forgot the other question you had asked me in regards to that.
How long were you there, and what were you doing? What
Just
did you
teaching.
do while you were there?
Yeah, just teaching and adventuring.
And what part?
Yeah, south of Beijing, and the town was called Daxing, but don't ask me to say any more Spanish, Chinese, because that's all I got.
Because she doesn't know
Did you learn any
Spanish.
Spanish in China?
Chinese.
That was literally the only
Mandarin.
question I had. Like, do you know Chinese?
Okay, I will
Or
say
Kung Fu.
something I kind of remember, you guys, but I
Oh.
swear to God, if any of my Chinese friends are on here, they will make fun of me because I know I don't remember
I
it
hope
correctly.
they come. Yeah.
There, like one of the things, this is going to be embarrassing. Please don't come for me. I'm trying very hard. So there was one saying that I learned, and it was like "tuo zo zanali," and that means like, "Where's the bathroom?"
It would be good to know where the bathroom is.
Yes.
In a foreign country.
Yeah, and then another one was "xiaoxing," and that meant "watch out," because when I was on my bike, you know, I would
You're,
because
like,
I had
telling people to move.
Yeah, like get in a nice way, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Did they ever say "ayah"? Did you ever hear that? Like
No.
"ayah"?
No.
Like,
Is that-
hiya?
No, "ayah." Like my undergraduate school orchestra conductor.
Yeah.
She was from Hong Kong, and whenever somebody did something, she would say "ayah." And
Interesting.
Is
Okay.
that
What's it mean?
anger or?
Like yes.
it was all across. It could be anger. It could be. It was like it was
Interesting.
very.
It's a
Yeah.
broad
Something
term.
good, you
Broad
did something
term.
bad,
Yeah.
upset.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
There are some like, you know how like if you're random, you riding a horse, you say hiya or yeah to like get them going.
Yeah.
They would say ja like with a J. And so it's funny all these words that are like that we both use, but they're a little bit different, you know. So yeah,
I've said jaw a time or two in my life.
yeah. Okay,
Ja.
to a horse.
Not to a horse.
Oh, okay.
but just to like my homies.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
In certain
works.
Every now and
situations.
then,
Yeah.
just like,
Ja.
When I'm feeling a little reggae.
Feeling a little island.
I love that.
You know,
Yeah.
Island man.
China.
So, yeah, that was
Yeah.
that. And then came back, and I pretty much, minus that one stint of being gone, I've been in sales my entire like career. So I just, you know, have done sales for like 18 years, traveling around, lots of travel. I've always traveled, whether it be states or within my state or whatever it may be. So that was kind of the origins of my background. But then flash forward to 2020. I mean, obviously I had bought a hardtail, and it was just like an REI Cannondale hardtail Sun Tour Fort, like nothing fancy.
hardtail is best tail. Just throwing that out there.
I'm not against it, but mine was just like something to get me out there. It was like cheaper, and I'm grateful for it. But I went out a couple times, wasn't really feeling it, like not sure. And then 2020 hit, had a lot more time on my hand to explore and like get to know Wisconsin and like where to bike, because I don't think I wasn't doing it right the first time, you know, like. And so, anyways, got into it a little bit more hard. Like, I was like, oh man, I'm loving this. Like, this is fun. It's like hiking on steroids. I can see more. I love the speed. I'm really getting into this. And then quickly learned that I needed a full suspension bike. So I was like, this is good, but I want something even better. And like in Wisconsin, we have a lot of stuff like Bella Vista in the back 40. So Rudy, in some areas, I should say, not all areas, but Rudy, rocky, like jarring almost. So that hardtail, I'd be like, you'd be like jostling down the trail. So.
Right. What about infrastructure? Is there any kind of like, is there a network trail system that you were able to learn and progress on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's a few things. So we have the state parks in Wisconsin. So you have a couple areas that one of them's called Newfane. If anybody's there, go check it out. And then Greenbush or the Kettle Moraine area in Wisconsin, that would be another system.
Gotcha.
So those are some state park areas, and it's just a couple. There's plenty more.
Okay.
And then there's another, we have the Milwaukee Metro Mountain Bike Association. So they are a group of people trying to, kind of run or operate. They're a club trying to fundraise to help with these trail systems. And they had other ones, like Manuka in southern Wisconsin was one. And Heritage became one, which was then kind of, I'd say, a huge staple in Wisconsin. And quite honestly, I'd be curious if anybody drops in the chat if they're familiar with Heritage, because it blew up. So we ended up getting somebody who built a downhill park in Wisconsin. So there was one downhill park in Wisconsin, and he did that. Little Switz. I don't know if anybody's heard of that either.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Have you been there?
No, but I heard it shut down.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
And it was, that
It looks
thing,
awesome.
it was
Or it looked
popping.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like everybody went up there because
Yeah.
that was where you could hit jumps and features, and we didn't have that in
Jumps,
southern
drops.
Wisconsin. Yeah,
In
correct.
a very tight, compact space, right?
On a
Pretty
a
epic.
little Switz, the ski hill there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so was it like Little Switz, like Little Switzerland?
Yes,
Like,
correct. Exactly.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. There was so like
Yeah.
you can see we have a smattering of a little bit of everything.
Sure.
And then that Little Switz, which everybody was super depressed when that closed, because that's like what we had, right? So that closed, but the trail builder there, he moved over to, like, once all the approvals, I'm making a long story short here, you got approvals to start trail building on this heritage park, right? So it was a county
I
park.
see.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
actually, this is I'm kind of repping his. I didn't even think about it till we were coming over, but Dirt Wave is the name of like the
Oh,
trail
cool.
building crew, because I helped out a few times and I really supported like what they were doing there. But anyways, he went from that Little Switz, then started building at Heritage, and then Heritage has now kind of taken off with the jump lines and drops and a lot of fun stuff. And so that's what we had in Wisconsin. So a mix
Right.
of this like techie backcountry riding. Then you had these little pockets. Madison has a couple pockets, and my area does, of jump lines and good ones, I would say too. So we were lucky but it was typically you're traveling to go to them, no matter where you are. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So it was a lot of travel, and then but definitely started there. I started on all of that. Heritage didn't come down. Didn't come till a couple of years later. But that at least was what started, all that, those trail parks.
Well, it's nice that the group that was like pushing like I would say more progressive style of riding was able to go and get into building in another place.
Absolutely.
That still service the community for some shred.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're fortunate here because like we have people like Trailblazers who have like a similar mentality where like they just want to jump too. So they're just like fixing all the jumps everywhere, and that's great, and like you need people that will basically service the shred culture of mountain biking, and it has to come from people who like want to jump and want to drop.
And these are all guys that were BMXers. They went to Raise in Milwaukee. So the core group of trail builders, they had that background. They know what they're doing. They've done it. Like they've ridden trails like that. So they were able to make things just epic,
Yeah.
And it just kept getting better with all the trails that they were building.
For sure.
And that's like this summer when we go back, I'm excited to see what more they've done too. So
Company trip?
Oh yeah, we've already talked about it.
Company trip?
August.
We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
We're coming back.
At least a couple weeks, and I've already
Yeah.
talked to
Yes.
my wife about it. It might be a family trip.
Yes,
We're
that'd be
going
fun.
up there for escaping the humidity.
We
heat
have
for
to have a
month or
cheese
so.
board.
Yeah.
A cheese board?
You guys,
Cheese board.
I'll take care of you. Okay, we'll have the spotted cow. We'll have cheese, lots of it. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry,
So-
you'll get cheesed up.
Yeah,
Yes,
you will.
we
You'll get
got
cheese
you.
up.
Sounds pretty cheesy.
It sounds pretty
love it.
cheesy. Yeah,
The
that
trails
sounds
up there
great.
look awesome. By the way,
Dude.
if you follow Bikes Brews Base Camp, YouTube or Instagram, the trails look epic up there. They look so fun.
Yeah, they're really cool. Like I said, you kind of have to travel to some of them, but if you're there or you're living there, make sure to check out. There's so many different trail systems.
I think the traveling part of it and stuff is more common than not, because once you get out of this bubble, most mountain bike scenes are the same.
Yeah.
Not that the trails are the same, but it's the same kind of concept. Like, it's not so much that you have all this funding and machinery like you do
That is
here.
true.
It's like other things is just volunteering. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's just wheelbarrows, rakes, and shovels, and that's all you can bring on the. And so it's actually more of the norm than it is something like here. But I did want to ask, like, what brought you here?
Mountain biking. So, I started in 2020 and started little things, that 1 foot drop, right? And it just kind of, the buddies I was riding with, they're good, and I wanted to keep up with them. I wanted to do what they did, which was exciting. It lit a fire inside me, and so I kept trying to go faster, do bigger things, do all the features that were available in our area. And it just kind of started spiraling in a good way, right? So then we started coming down here. I've been down here 4 times, and last year I was down here for like maybe 6 weeks, and then finally it was like, no, I need to be down there, because in Wisconsin half your season's cut off, so you develop all these skills, and then the winter comes and you fat bike in Wisconsin, which is fun, but you don't do crazy stuff, So then it's like you lose some of the skill, and you got to recalibrate once spring comes, and it was just kind of like, man, this is a passion. And more than that, I want it to be so much more. So, and being able to come here and do some really great things, like in the 4 summers I've been riding, like I feel really proud of my progression and where I'm at, because it really was only 4 summers, because that's all you got in Wisconsin. So
You're shredding.
I know it's fun. But now, like living down here, it's like, what more is gonna come? You know what? Yeah. Cheers.
You're shredding.
Cheers to shredding.
Cheers, shredding.
So, but that's what brought me down here. Us down here, just being able to mountain bike all the time and getting better and really, fueling that passion for it and seeing people do 1-footers and no-handers and whips like that are blow my mind. Like, I cannot wait to do those things.
In the sounds.
Excellent.
In the sounds you hear when you
And the
jump.
cheering, yes.
I got you there.
I know you do. It's good.
I yell for every person.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you do.
Everybody.
Yeah, you do.
No, it's a lot of fun here, man. It is a lot of fun when you connect with the right people, man. You can have a blast and just session stuff, and everybody's cheering you on, and you don't want it to end. And when you're riding back to your truck, you're just like, man, I can't believe it's over.
It's over.
Like, it went by so fast.
Yeah.
Well, and it's cool to like have that group and session things, because when we're having fun, that's when we learn the most.
Yeah.
And we didn't actually learn shit while we were doing it.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
like
true.
Having
That's
you
fun.
go to sleep, all that
Yeah.
weird little skill stuff sinks in, and it's like,
Starts,
oh my god, I'm better.
Yeah.
yeah, when you get to reflect it,
Yeah.
it really sinks in.
Well, and also, like, I think when you're around people that like provide stoke, I mean, and honestly, like, that's how I met you. Like, literally, I think we were just stoking each other. Like, that sounds bad. Let me rephrase that. We weren't stoking each other. We were like,
Throw an R in there.
Ruin the
We
word.
stoked each other.
you ruined it.
Yeah.
All right, you were.
Oh my
we were
I'm not
goodness.
using that word anymore.
Was it in the back 40 or?
Wait, you guys stoked
you guys
each other?
stoked each other in the
Yeah,
back
bro.
40?
Like,
Yeah, bro.
like in the bushes?
Can
or
we add
what?
that to our future black and blue T-shirts? Stoked in the back 40.
Yeah, I got stoked
Got
in the
stoked in the back
Oh
40.
my goodness. That's a vibe right there.
Yeah.
Ruin that
I'm gonna
word.
have to change the age rating on this
Oh,
episode,
sorry.
guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
My children are watching
69
this.
and up.
Yeah. We just stoked in the back 40.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways.
doesn't
That's a
sound
good call out
Yeah.
though. It's like the sessioning thing. Like when we all sessioned, hammer.
Drop the hammer.
No.
The hammer
Hammer
down,
down.
step up.
Hammer down.
Hammer down,
My bad.
step up.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was epic, and it's funny because you do it over and over
You
and
find
over.
the cutout. you
Yes.
just go,
Yep.
Yeah. And then, or like for me, it was don't break in the berm, and it took me a
Don't break in the
couple,
berm.
and then finally
Yeah.
I didn't clear. It's okay, all right, you can clear
Yeah.
it then, you
That
know. And I
berm
just
sucks
gotta learn. Yeah.
Until
Well,
you find the right line, and then
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's true. And also the lip needs
yeah.
to be cleaned up just a little bit. Trailblazers,
We love you.
we love you,
First of all.
but
It's
but
Considering like how long it's been in its current configuration, it's honestly stood up pretty well. So
it has. It
let's go
absolutely
Trailblazers.
has. Let's go
Yes.
Trailblazers. So that much props.
Yeah.
But we could clean that lip up, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm
Yeah,
good
yeah.
with the lip. Just clean, like, let me go a little bit higher in the berm without the bumpity bumps.
True. I think just the bottom needs a little love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Or we could just do it.
Or you know,
That's
we
true.
could all just
Yeah.
not run such stiff suspension so it eats the bumps and quit bitching.
That's true.
I
You got a point.
I would
You
like
got
to
a point.
announce I am going to sign up to be the trail fairy for Air Raid, so it stays cleaner.
Oh,
Oh,
fun.
nice.
Dude, it's right by your house.
Okay, cool.
It's right. I
Literally.
ride that trail
Oh.
all the time, so why shouldn't I clean it up?
He
I
can take a
feel-
Fair
poop,
point.
grab his bike, and go ride air raid.
Fair point. Fair point.
Right.
That's
No,
gonna
I-
be awesome because it is just like chef's kiss right
I know,
now.
it's so
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
Trailblazers
It's so
just
fun.
got done with
Last night
with
it
the
was
fresh
good.
recap.
Man,
Man, and it's
Pretty
It's
great.
insane.
I haven't
Pretty
been
great.
there yet, but
Yeah.
I've seen good.
Not yet?
oh, you have
No,
to go.
I haven't.
Oh.
Dude, you'd be with me if I rode it.
It's
It's like you live right
you
there. I'm not
don't
gonna be
even
like,
need to
hey, bro,
pedal.
let me ride this trail like right by your house.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
So you can drop into Air Raid now, and you don't even have to put a pedal stroke in, and you can just zoom all the way to the end.
Yeah, all the
It's
way to the
insane.
end. No pedaling.
A
Yeah.
few trails popping up like that. Jesse's is like that. The weird Rockman
Yeah,
3-pack.
Jesse's.
I don't know what to call them. Jumps. They're like
I see
that.
3-pack. I see 6-pack.
Medieval's like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can do Lone Wolf like that. Although that's just been written in over time. But like, yeah, they're popping up.
Okay,
He
that's-
wants a beer, bro. Give it to him.
Unless like
I was
I'm following
just
behind
saying
Scott,
that.
because man, on medieval Scott, you in those berms, you're just like, phew, and then I like to catch up. I'm just like, I gotta get him.
Well,
Oh.
I'm
Scott-
sorry I
Scott's-
just winked at you, Scott. It was
I'm
an
glad to hear that
involuntary
because I
reaction.
think I suck. I'm like my worst critic.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, don't, yeah,
Yeah.
you do not suck.
I think everybody feels like that.
Yeah.
Dude, we
Well,
all
but
suck when we use straws.
Yeah, that's true. Too.
Just saying.
He got
Just
us.
saying.
He got us.
Yeah.
Dad joke.
Yeah.
Dad joke. Mm.
Yeah. I broke the seal on the dad joke.
Okay, good
Yeah,
job. Good
there
job.
you go.
Speaking of which, what's
Just
your
waiting
origin,
for the that's
what's,
what she said.
what's your origin story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Okay.
Papa?
I was
Tell us
born
your story.
First
in
there was
the darkness.
Look, you had enough time to come up with your hero story. Let's hear it.
It better be good now. Pressure's on.
In the darkness of my mother's womb.
Let's fast forward a little.
A little further. And
20 years later.
So like I don't know, I rode this little bike around my cul-de-sac. It was fun. I liked it. Rode BMX bikes, but not with any sort of skill. More just
Where?
kind of like hoping and praying here in
Here?
Springdale.
Springdale.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would ride like 2.5 hours to the Walker skate park in Fayetteville. And I wasn't good, but like I could hit the Euro gap and do some weird stuff. I could hit the spine. That was like my crowning achievement on a BMX bike. And then I played video games for a while, which is where my superhero story comes in.
That's right.
Yeah. I used to be pretty good at Call of Duty. I'm not so much anymore because,
Because
age
you let
and
it. You
bicycles.
let it go.
I let
You
it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. I'm
You
more
went
of a-
out, started to go outside a little bit more.
Yeah. I,
He started riding mountain bike, and then it took over.
I needed
right?
the vitamin D.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, honestly, I'm kind of a COVID baby when it comes to the mountain bikes. COVID hit. I got laid off, but I was still getting government money. Thank you. And I bought a mountain bike, and it was a Kona Fire Mountain, 27.5 little like. I mean, for what it was, it survived. But I'm not saying it was a good bike.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
same.
Yeah.
and if it got you in,
But
it
yeah.
served its purpose.
Right.
You know
At
what I
the
mean?
time, like shout out to Lewis and Clark because I rode that thing hard for 3 weeks and then traded it in for like the next model up, which had a 1x drivetrain and an air fork, and that bike saw me through to through to my first hardtail, which I promptly broke and almost died, and it was great. And then
I'm gonna need that story.
rode it.
Yeah.
So
Your first broken bike.
my first
I
broken
wanna
bike.
know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Long
is it
story short,
do you got footy?
I do have footy. I do have footy.
Yes.
We'll check it
Share
out
it.
after the pod.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I was at the rail yard, and me and Nash, that everybody knows, my buddy Nash,
Mhm.
Shab Neely on Instagram. Shout out.
Is it
Shout
on
out-
your
shout out,
Instagram?
Nash.
Can we find this?
It
this
might be
breaking-
on my
broken
Instagram.
thing?
Like it might be like the first
you,
thing.
you tell the story. I'm gonna.
Okay, so
Check it out.
Search while you talk.
Nash and I are riding dual slalom down the expert line at the rail yard, and I was tired. I'd been there all day. Plus Bike Fest, I'm pretty sure it was Bike Fest was going on, and. Yeah, like we're going through the banana hammock. We're good. Like I cased the last yellow step up at the rail yard, and like knew I shouldn't go on. And then I hear "Let's go" from one of the Hellion bikes riders behind me, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta go." And so I pedaled up for the drop and didn't have the speed, and then like pulled too late and just like OTB'd. Took all of the impact on the fork. And then like tucked and rolled like Sonic the Hedgehog and popped up like "fuck yeah!" And then I
You
turned
got your
around
rolled ring.
and looked at my bike like, "Oh no!" And that was history. Like at that point, I had nothing, and
Where did it break? Like what?
I snapped the head tube clean. like
Oh
clean.
my God,
And
yeah.
Orbea was like,
How
Oh.
how far back should I look?
oh, dude, like all the way.
All the way back.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
pretty
I'm
much
going.
all the
I'm
way.
diving. I'm
To
diving.
the beginning
Yeah.
of time,
Let's go
right?
Back to the
Beginning of
beginning
time.
of time.
I like it.
I'm getting there.
I don't even know if it's on there for sure.
I'm looking.
Like it might be on my original Instagram, which has since been deleted because I was like ADHD
yeah.
MTB. Like people type in ADHD, and I'm number 3.
Oh, nice.
I'm keeping
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
And I do have ADHD, so it kind of works. Like all of my mountain biking content or, whatever is kind of sporadic and weird and on a weird timetable. And sometimes I'll wait weeks to post something that happened 3 weeks ago and should have been posted about. And I'm just like,
Dude,
but
don't
whatever.
worry about that.
that's
Yeah.
life.
Don't worry about that.
So yeah. Anyway, from that point forward, like I've ridden primarily dirt jumpers. The owner of Hellion Bikes, shout out Mike Salata, Michael La Salata, actually, excuse me, put me on one of his bikes for a pretty good deal, and I rode Hellions for like 2.5 years, and
Awesome.
finally got a real mountain bike, and just kind of progressed from there, riding hardtails because it's what I knew, and I like it gnarly. So like Lake Weatherwood is my favorite place to ride, especially on a hardtail. If you know the lines, that place is fast as fuck.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
so good.
That
Yeah.
place is awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, just kind of been riding for the past 5 years. That's what I do. Been
I'm
lucky enough to pick up a couple supporters along the way, and I'm pretty stoked.
yeah, dude. I'm glad you brought up Leatherwood because like there was like a stint where like I thought you were just lived on the trail.
Dude, I did.
Yeah.
I did,
Yeah.
like literally
They get a
in the
tent out
hotel
there,
room
too.
above the office.
It seemed like it with the
Yeah.
amount of footage that you were dropping. Like it was like every day there was like a new like Leatherwood post,
Mm.
Yeah.
and I was like, this dude, I'm pretty sure he's like sleeping at the hub and
Dude.
just dropping in the morning.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Leatherwood and the rail yard built me as
Yeah.
a rider, pretty much.
There we go.
Can we go back a step?
Oh,
We were
Uh-oh.
just chatting I think at the rail yard maybe, and you said something like you used to like be like a pro gamer, something like that, right? Like semi-pro gamer.
Yeah,
Is that
I
what
would
it was?
say like
You were like
little league.
legit.
Little Leagues.
I don't know.
Give
Give me Street Fighter 2.
in terms.
I
of-
played Call of Duty religiously for like
Uh-huh.
8 years, and so like you're kind of bound to get like your Xbox and stuff paid for and stuff like that if you kind of go through the
That's
right
it.
channel.
That's
Oh,
It's like
really?
That's
That's
it. You got
crazy.
free gaming
So
systems. That's it.
shout out like Split Second Killers Gaming. They no longer exist
That's it.
as far as I know. We never made it big. We were itty bitty, but like
Sure.
a couple of like UMG gaming events and stuff like that. So
You
I
had
played
some things paid.
Yeah, yeah.
Some
I've got a
things
custom
covered.
pair of
Yeah.
double-bodied Converse that I wore for tournaments a couple times. And they're
Baller.
sick, and you can no longer like custom make double-bodied Converse anymore. So I'm super proud of those. I haven't worn them in
Yeah.
like 2 years just to keep them safe.
Nice.
I bust them out when like I really.
You want to
need-
get fancy?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They're my fancy shoes.
when you have a gala to attend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like in a black
Yes,
suit
yeah.
with his like,
Like Converse.
yeah.
Yeah,
We've threatened some Mario Kart tournaments, haven't we?
dude.
Little
Take out the blue
low-key.
shell so it's fair, and
Little
I'll still smoke
Low
you.
key Mario
Dude.
Kart
Oh,
tournaments
gosh.
next
Horrible
time.
at video
Next time.
games.
LFG.
Yeah,
let's
we
go.
can-
Should have brought my Switch.
We
Dude,
can.
that's the next
been game on.
Gnarkansas stream is a gaming tournament between.
We got it
5 of us.
downstairs. Let's go.
Oh my
Let's go.
gosh, you
Let's
guys.
go.
Let's go.
I'm
Got
not
the
good,
wheels
so
and
I'll always
everything.
be last.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not good
Okay.
either.
Guaranteed.
I'm competitive and whatever I do,
Maggie
even if
and
I'm
I
bad
will
at
be
it.
battling because
Okay.
I suck.
Battling for
Video games.
battling
Okay.
for last.
The
Yeah.
carts, man. Like sometimes I'm just twirling out there, and I'm like, stop twirling. Like just go, man. Like what is happening? So I can't even go
I
straight.
played
sometimes.
Call of Duty and my like crosshairs is all over the place like this. And I'm
Like,
like, where are they? And then I'm dead. And then I come back on and it's like, oh,
And then you're dead again.
And I'm just like, this game sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. They got
Yeah.
Scott, we're together on
Yeah.
this, okay?
It was fun when it was good.
Uh-huh.
I'm definitely not a potato on the sticks.
Uh,
Yeah. I can relate. I can hang with the top.
Yeah,
Yeah. I can do some.
I probably
killing.
can't anymore.
Yeah.
but, like
Yeah, you can. It's just like riding a bike.
Ew.
Boom.
I mean, I don't know. I crashed
back.
the other day, so
And we're back.
We're live.
I did crash the other day, so you can.
I
Yeah.
crashed in front of him.
What'd
Still
you-
haven't
what were
seen-
you doing?
I
still
don't know
haven't
if
seen
it was
his
a
footage.
crash. It was like so graceful. He was like,
It was so
He just floated,
I just
really.
watched him go to the shoulder and just kind of slide out. And if I had a pillow, I could have threw it under his head.
Oh.
Yeah, it'd have been perfect.
It was the slow demise of somebody who knew they done goofed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we were
you
having
just
so
accept
much
it,
fun that
you
we
know?
were
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
We were hot
Yeah.
dogging.
I was laughing
That's
and
awesome.
yelling, yeah, Scott. I forgot your name for a split second there.
I was like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, keep going." And I was like, "All right." And then I hit the next step up, and he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I guess he's all right."
He's-
And I hear other kids
he's
going,
hollering
"You good?"
for me,
And I'm
so-
like going, "He's telling me to
this
do
is-
more
this is
stuff.
Kohler.
It
Right.
must
Yeah.
be
This
good."
is Kohler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not crashed
Yeah.
on the second drop and dropped the hammer and was like, well, that was stupid.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Oh, what happened? What'd you
Oh,
do?
I like threw my little dad whip thing off of it, but I got kind of like locked in it.
Ooh,
And so like my wheel was pointed towards the soup and I just kind of like rode it out gently on the brakes, slowing down for the inevitable crash. And when it happened, it was like resting on a lovely bed of fresh
Yeah.
polar rocks.
It almost looked planned. Yeah, a
That's
little bit.
crazy.
It was not bad. Like the rocks were loose, so they all kind of displaced. I
Yeah.
didn't know that
Okay,
it
that's
hurt
good.
until the next day.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm a little sore, but whatever.
Mhm.
No blood. We're good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
We were just having so much fun that we
You don't want to stop.
were trying to
Yeah.
be cute.
We
on
didn't stop
stuff.
until he nearly went out the door,
Yeah.
out the front door.
What happened
Oh yeah.
there?
I like got a gnarly endo like I just
Where?
on
the
the
hammer?
The step up.
yeah, because
From the
it's
hammer.
the same thing. We were like having so much fun, and I go, I'm really gonna crank the shit out of this freaking whip.
Yeah, yeah.
And it like I cranked so hard that I lean forward, and then next thing you know, I'm just like nose diving.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So does that mean
That's
three of
great.
us have in the last like 4 weeks have done something silly on the hammer? Because remember Steve's like follow close, and I was like you got it, and I was so
Oh yeah,
that's,
you fell.
that's on
and
my
you
Instagram
fell. You
by
fell
the
on
way.
the step up, or no? It was on the.
I was so close that when the step up happened, he got steezy, and then I was like, I'm really close to his tire, and I buzzed it, and then we like collided, kind of in the air, kind of.
That's what I couldn't remember.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Did you fall?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay,
had
okay,
like
okay.
road,
Oh, yeah.
and I had road rash on my arm and my hip,
Yeah.
but I got up immediately
20
and was
minutes
like,
before,
let's
she
do
was
it
like,
again.
yeah, my wrist is still broken. I'm not going to hit the hammer.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
I fell on my left side though, because I was like, we're gonna go this way. But all of that to say, you get back up your ride, right? But we
Yeah.
all kind of did something goofy on that
yeah,
line.
that's
But we're all
that's what
fine.
we had a good time. Though,
It was so much
at the
fun.
end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta. I'm Iron Realm. I was riding Huntley yesterday
Yeah.
for an hour because I was like, it's about to rain. I just got home. I have
Are-
an hour. I'm sorry
Are
to tell
you
everybody.
interneting on a
Well,
podcast?
I know, but
Yeah,
I gotta
it's-
show you.
you
I
almost
almost
had it,
I
too.
almost went over. I almost went over the bars. Iron Realm was there, and he caught it, and I was like, I haven't done that in so long. I landed nose manual at the bottom of the second jump at Huntley. It was so. It was,
Oh, yeah.
It was
That's
so
a good clip,
sketchy.
Brandon.
You can play the good one afterwards too if you want.
That's a good one.
To show I'm not always a
Here it comes,
dork.
here it comes. Oh,
Hey
Oh goodness.
He said follow
what I
I
close.
landed halfway down or almost at the very bottom.
That's
of the
exactly
jump.
what I did.
So sketchy.
And then we left after that.
There it
I
is.
go on to-
Pew.
I had to keep going for.
Oh, yeah, you
goodness.
did skip
Yeah,
it.
you're all up in that.
I know I'm
One
so.
more,
Whoa,
one more
no.
time. One more
Whoa,
time.
Okay.
Easy. What kind of podcast is this?
I
All
know.
up in there.
I want to submit this to GMB and fails, but their uploader's like down right now.
Oh, that's rough.
But then we got the good one though after that, a couple later.
Oh,
So
yeah.
redemption
Oh,
was had. So
Yes.
we don't end on the negative note. It's like so the thumbnail is me giving I think Joe or
There it is.
Nasha. Yeah, that's the one.
redemption.
this one here?
Yeah, down or
Redemption
down.
run.
No.
No, that's the wrong
Redemption
way.
run is where the fist bump.
Yeah,
and
right
it is
there.
Yeah.
Redemption. run.
Let's see how much
Like,
space.
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm not going to follow so close.
Yeah.
I was.
So-
Yeah, I know. I got to get back out and.
You were jaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. See, we did it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Now it's even better. We're getting more steezy just because.
Shout out to Nash.
Shout out to Nash.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Stoked.
He was traveling through Houston whenever we spoke today.
Today he's going. What's
Yeah,
he doing?
yeah, he's doing some stuff in I don't know, probably some weird Nash stuff with a camera and
Weird
flip flops and a
Nash
banjo.
Oh, okay.
That's fun.
That's kind of what Nash is
I
about,
love the
other than
banjo.
bikes.
Shout out to Nash.
Shout out
if,
to
if
buddy.
he's listening, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Nash is, I don't know how much photography, video stuff he has done professionally, but he's.
He's good.
Do you know?
Not a whole lot, but he's so passionate about
He's
it
so good.
that like he got really good fast and then taught me everything that I know, which admittedly is little because he knows way more than me.
He's so good, and he
He's
did
so
some
good.
photos on Rehab Ride 1, And I was like, wow, Nash, you're really good.
Yeah.
And so we hired him
He loves it.
to do a video for Matthew Mark. I got some kids in my neighborhood, neighbors, teenage kids, and some other friends, teenage kids, and we did a video shoot last Friday. James was there, and it was
I
awesome.
showed up by
That's
happenstance.
fine.
Nash shot the video, and we had a photographer, and we're doing so that was for the foundation, the community outreach side,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
the at-risk youth, free mountain biking mentorship side, free mountain bike coaching. And this Wednesday, if we don't get rained out, we're shooting a mountain bike lessons clinic side with the three of us.
gonna be fun.
Oh.
Yeah,
Where is
Nash.
that? Where exactly?
Kohler. We're
Okay,
gonna go
gotcha.
Kohler. We're going to do cease and desist, the top
There
of
we
fire
go.
line, drop the hammer, and then hard way to cafe, get
Yep.
the drop, and then do some high fives at the Paradise Valley.
That's right.
That'll be
We're doing
fun.
hard
That's right.
Yeah, and we're always
We're
totally
doing
down
hard
to
way.
like
We're doing
be a
hard
hype,
I love hard
the
way.
Yeah?
hype group. Yeah, like
Wednesday?
we're not so much coaching.
I'll
Well,
come.
yeah, if we can make it, I'm always down
Wednesday.
to just hang out.
We
and
just booked
Yeah.
this today.
dope
I
people
think.
out.
I have to go back to Cease though, because last year I had gone and cleared everything,
Yeah.
but I haven't been back yet this year, so I
go.
gotta get back.
Let's go.
It's a
you
fun
got this.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
So we got the Bike Fest coming up.
Bike
we
Fest.
got
Mhm.
summer. Like this is when everybody's starting to like stuff's going down. Like what's going down with the Matthew Mark Foundation? You doing more jump clinics? Anything super?
We have a ladies jump clinic this Saturday, but I'm pretty sure it's getting rained out. So we have secured 2 alternative dates, Thursday and Friday afternoon. Who seems like everybody's into those options that I've already emailed. And Wednesday, May 18th, we're going out to Claremore, Oklahoma. They have some jump lines out there. Somebody reached out to us, which has been kind of crazy with Gravity side. We did some events, got hired. We did the Women of Oz Sunset Summit. We did the bags and jumps there. We did Cold Turkey Mountain last year, and that was cool. And we did some other little small things.
We
at
actually
Kohler.
just went to Turkey Mountain.
And let's talk about that in a
Yes.
second because it's awesome.
Oh my goodness.
So May 18th, we're going to
Awesome.
Claremore, and we're doing a intro to jumps for dudes, intro to jumps for ladies because they wanted both, and intermediate jumping, getting stylish.
Oh yeah.
Intro to whips, intro to boost. That's the 18th at Claremore. We just went. To continue, Bike Fest. The week after that, we're going to be posted up at Kohler with jumps and bags, with Gnarkansas and the Gnarkansas podcast bus. Woo! Shout out to Gnarkansas.
Yeah.
Wait, you
that's
said
gonna
the
be
week after. Do you mean the week of Bike Fest?
The week after Claremore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I just wanted
the
to make
week
sure
after
that people knew
Claremore.
you would be there during Bike
Yeah,
Fest.
during Bike Fest.
During
Yeah.
Bike Fest,
Yes.
we will be posted up at Kohler Grove with. It'll just be us,
Oh.
Gnarkansas
so
and
much
Matthew
fun.
Mark Foundation.
I guess now I know what I'm doing for Bike
Yeah.
Fest.
Heck yeah.
Yes, you
I
are.
found
Well,
out on the
Yes,
Gnarkansas podcast.
we'll be
You found the
in the
Bike Fest
Grove,
home.
posted up,
Naturally Gnar.
man, hanging out,
Hanging out.
jumping, grilling.
Doing
So
things.
so Joe, you're really good at busting people out because we haven't announced that yet,
Oh,
and
edit it out.
it is live. So
Good job, bro.
we ain't editing that out.
Yeah.
You said
So,
things come out, so here
Things
we
do
go.
come out on this show.
Yeah.
I didn't know you didn't.
We have not announced it yet.
Sorry.
It's all good.
No, hey, that's how live works. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Nice.
you can't
Nice.
unlive live things.
True.
One of our mottos.
Somebody
hold
take this
on.
guy's mic.
Somebody
One of
control
our
this
mottos,
guy.
Hey, we operate on
He asked what we're doing
organic
for Bike
principles.
Fest. I thought he said, "What are you doing for Bike Fest?" I thought you were like, "What are you doing
Like, hey,
for Bike
dropping
Fest?"
it,
No.
dropping that hit.
Yeah,
More
maybe,
winking.
maybe that's my B on that.
Bro, I was watching. Scott never winked at you. He was winking at me. 'Cause we had a thing.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It was a lack of translation of winks. You know.
Yeah, wrong winks.
Wrong
whatever.
winks.
But
Well.
you know what? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know.
Wait, real quick. So what?
Sincere apologies.
Yeah.
I do.
Next week, Gnarkansas announces that Matthew Mark has been fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're out.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. So at Bike Fest,
Yes.
you know, for everybody listening, what are you bringing? Like, what size ramps? Like,
2.5 foot jump, 2.5 foot bag, 4 foot jump, 4.5 foot bag, 6 foot jump, 6.5 foot bag.
so there's literally something for everybody.
Yeah, little something for
which I
everybody.
think is
Yeah.
super important to
Yeah.
note. Like, if
Yeah.
you've never
Yeah.
been on a bag before, because I was
Yeah.
nervous when I first did it. My first time on a bag was last year,
Uh-huh.
and so but now it's gotta try it. So
What did you think after you did it?
it was different.
Yeah,
It was
it's
different.
definitely
I had to learn how to do it. And then this last time when we did the larger one a couple weekends ago or whatever, I felt much more comfortable because I mean I can jump all the day long on dirt, but it's a little different on a bag. So, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I'm I think it's a great way to learn, especially the smaller ones, to just kind of get your feet wet and get started. So. So yeah, everybody should come to that because it's gonna be good.
They should.
Try it out.
Yeah, come hit in their bag. They're fun.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, if you're around during Bike Fest weekend and you're near Kohler, head to the top of Thunderdome and you might see some stuff.
It does.
Yes.
It does help, man. I've
Not been announced yet.
I think just I just think riding the airbags on my pedal bike for the last couple times that I've been out there,
Been hanging.
yeah, hanging, like that's probably why I felt so comfortable the other day. It's just because I was using that bike the most. Now I just need to use the dirt jumper the most.
Bro, it's okay. You don't need the DJ.
I know, but I have it, and I should figure it out.
I mean, yeah.
You just want to put it to use, right? Yeah, I
I
get that.
fully understand the trepidation behind it.
But
Well, it's like we've all conversations have been had about different bikes, e-bike, trail bike, dirt jumper, BMX. Like there's all these different like bikes to ride. I think it really has to do with like what you're comfortable riding. Like whatever you can gain like the most comfort out of and ride the way you want to ride. That's what you should ride. So like I even would say like if somebody wants to ride, a small bike, like go BMX. Like just get a BMX bike and unleash thyself. Like that's what you should do.
Yeah.
well, the biggest gimmick out there was like get a DJ because that'll help you jump better. As a I'm a mountain biker. I'm never going to be a dirt jumper. So I got the dirt jumper because I thought it would translate as a better jumper when I go riding on the trails.
Sure. Let's hear from the experts.
Oh gosh.
I mean,
Does he count?
I fully stand.
You're
is
really good,
Donuts
but you're really
department.
good. Like,
I fully stand in the dirt jumper compartment. Like anybody that can jump dirt, basically, can ride a bike, but not everybody that can ride a bike can jump dirt. And I'm specifically talking about the dirt jumpers, but also like ride what you brung. Like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Right.
like do I feel like you can learn more on? I would say a hardtail, something with like a 65-degree head angle that you're comfortable on.
Yeah. Kind
of a shorter middle length chainstay, not like a 440 or 450. Something that is slack enough to let you get into trouble when you want, but steep enough to let you go and have some fun on the dirt jumps, build it up with some faster tires and ride that as your dirt jumper. I don't care. Like ride what you brung. Hardtails are probably really like better for learning to jump just because of the consistency of the rear end, and then like you still save your wrists on the impact. We all know how to land on our legs because we've all jumped off of things as kids. You jump off the rock or your parents' porch, whatever. So like we all know how to land on our feet. The fork saves our wrists. So just if you've got the extra money, go get a little hardtail. If not, screw it. Ride what you got.
Yeah.
Body position is king. It's not about how much suspension you have or
you're
how
right.
much travel you have or how slack your head angle is or whether your stem points down or is 35 millimeters instead of 75. Like
I think it has to do with comfort. It's like what are you comfortable on, and that's how you get better because you're able to let a little bit go. Ride what you're comfortable on, and like if your body position's correct and you're moving the way you need to, you can jump anything. I've jumped a beach cruiser. It sucked because pedal brakes when you land, like if one foot sinks back, you're stopping. But like
that seems crazy.
I did it and it worked exactly the same as every other bike.
No, look, I got called out one time, and I won't name names because it was a harsh comment, but I made a complaint about the bike I was on when I was jumping a certain jump. And I was told that it's not the bike, it's the rider. And I was like, you know what? That hurt. I'm going to take it.
God, I hope that wasn't our meeting.
I mean, it was not from this group. It wasn't in this room.
Because I say that sometimes.
No, but because it's true. I think that and what I learned was that as I got better as a rider and I was able to like spread across the bike platform, like I can ride a dirt jumper. I can ride a big bike. I could probably still get back on a BMX bike, which is where I came from. It's doesn't matter what the jump is. If you know how to jump properly, you should be able to jump on all bikes.
Translates.
It should translate.
There's
Yep.
definitely some truth to that, because that's starting to translate now where I'm at. Like now I am starting to jump more comfortably on a dirt jumper,
Right.
on my trail bike,
Yep.
on
That's
my
the fact,
e-bike,
dude.
and it's all starting to come together. However, like I got the dirt jumper because I felt like, you know, and I look at it now and it's like, it might be a trendy misconception that you want to learn how to jump better on the trail, get a DJ and go to the bike park.
Yeah.
And I kind of disagree at this point right now.
I think the thing with dirt jumpers is that it's so easy that you can spend half the energy learning to jump. And so if you can get comfy on the DJ, everything translates, but not everything from the big bike translates to the DJ. And that's where people have trouble.
That's true.
Going from small to big, easy. Anybody can do it. Going from big to small, it's like,
Yes. I'm the same.
That's
So
100%.
we went to Ray's last year because getting out of Wisconsin winter, right? And I was stoked. I thought that being on a DJ, I was going to be great because I was like, I'm pretty good at jumping, so this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I had a rude awakening. The first day, I got a little frustrated because I was like, man, I can't jump anything. Like literally everything. I was casing, I didn't get it, right?
Everything.
Oh yeah, it was bad. And then I was kind of getting in my head a little bit, and a buddy was like, who was good at that, you know, he's like, just relax and just go practice over in like the practice pump area, and I just lapped, and finally I started to get it, but it was a challenge.
I've
different.
Yeah.
Different. Yeah.
Dude, I have people ride my dirt jumper at the rail yard or, you know, wherever I'm at all the time. And they're like, oh, yeah. They go do a lap. They're like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Or, oh, my God, that sucked. And they're like trying to give it back. I'm like, no.
Keep going.
You got to go do like at least 3 laps, probably more like 9 or 10. Like, just go enjoy it for a little bit, suck on it for a moment. Like, I understand that it's a different feeling. So, like, just go be bad at biking for a minute. And as you get used to it, over 3rd, 4th, 5th run, like
That's true.
You'll understand why I like it so much. It may not be for you, but at least that you've taken the time to understand the bike. And so many people are like, "Oh my God, I think I want to go buy a dirt jumper." I'm like, dude, like, chill, but
you hit a key moment right there. You said, "Be bad for a little bit."
yeah,
Because
it's
then
fun. That's what
it's so
it's
fun.
Good point.
But people get in their heads though
yeah,
a little. They're like, "I'm good," I thought, and then you do that, and you're like, "It's a reality
You
check."
have to get used to the dirt.
Mhm.
I just sold mine because of my hip surgery.
Get a slow bike.
I might, you know, he keeps telling me, but I just sold my dirt jumper, but
Sure.
I loved it, man.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I do feel like it made me better when I
Well,
got back in my trail bike.
Our second
was
ride
like-
was on dirt jumpers.
I was like,
Ah,
this
that's
is
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Why is it so much easier to do stuff on my trail bike now?
I think you really touched on something really with this because I'm feeling it right now, and I want to like, man, this might be like live progression of like training modules in a way of thinking. So like, you know, if you look at riding as you suck, like, but you're good, but you suck. And the reason why you suck is because you're not where you want to be. So get yourself there. So like understand, take yourself out of it and understand that you're good, but you need some work. You need to work on some stuff. So get out there and let that work be done. Don't just settle for the ride that you have because you know you want to progress. We all do. Everybody in this room right now, we all want to progress. So you have to just say, yeah, I'm okay, but I got some work to do.
Yeah.
And if you can treat every ride like that, I feel like work can be done when you let go. When you say like, all right, I need to progress. I'm not where I need to be. It feels good. I'm riding good, but I got some work to do.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and my hobbies are, you know, riding bikes, jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
playing music,
Yep.
and being like a better person every day. I can be the best dad I could be, best husband I could be, best friend I could be, right? And everything's like,
Firearms.
Oh,
you want to talk about firearms next?
And riding bikes.
Things to get better at.
Things to get better at.
Shooting.
You have to train.
Yeah.
Shooting.
Better.
Shooting.
You have
right.
to train.
Train.
I love me
Targets.
some dry firing.
Targets.
And targets. Yeah,
Bikes.
100%.
Dude,
Yeah.
hitting the landing, that's a target.
Yeah.
Oh,
but-
absolutely.
But
The
the
bike
little,
is a gun. The bike is the bullet. The lip is the gun. The
Yes.
bike is the bullet.
Joe?
The landing's
That's
the
good.
target.
That's good.
Yeah, there you go.
but you know the idea of I never feel good enough in my whole life, and I've been skateboarding since I was 7th grade. I don't know how old that is. 12, 11 or
Yeah.
12.
Long time.
12
I've been
fish.
skateboarding a
Yeah.
long time. I've been riding a bike a long time. I've been
Mhm.
surfing a long time. I suck at surfing now because
You lived there for
I don't
4
live in
years?
the-
Okay.
right
It's like, I thought
every
you'd be
this
good.
music. I've done music for so long, but I still feel like I suck.
There's a place just over in Oklahoma that you
But-
can go surf in like the river, and
Oh,
they've
yeah.
got
Oh,
like
really?
a wave machine or something. I don't
Stand-
know what
standing
it's
wave?
called.
Yeah,
I-
it's
I
a
have no idea.
it's a
You can surf.
Let's
wave
go.
wave generator.
Let's go.
I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what the facility is called, but it's like a big, like a dish, like a
Yeah.
big metal dish, and it
Yeah.
pumps up and down and creates
Okay.
a wave out.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can,
you're
you
talking
can,
in
you can
Australia.
paddle out to. No. This is
He
here.
said Oklahoma.
Like
Oklahoma.
it's either in Tulsa.
It's
or
not
OKC.
far. It's
I'm
not.
pretty sure it's Tulsa.
I don't know
You're-
exactly
you're
where
not-
it's at.
You're not talking about Texas,
No,
the
That-
Waco wave pool.
I'm
Joe.
thinking
Tulsa.
of
Tulsa?
no.
Tulsa.
That what I just described might be
The Waco
in
wave pool.
Texas. Yeah.
Mm.
I've been
Yeah.
there. And
Okay.
place is epic.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, the one I'm talking about is in Tulsa.
No.
Okay.
Hey, is it the thing? The thing you're talking about is that's a cable park.
That's
I-
in Waco, the cable park.
I'm
No,
not sure.
I think there's,
There's
a
another
cable.
one in
There's
Tulsa.
a, I
One of my
think there's a
buddies
cable
keeps
park
trying to get me to go with him.
close.
He's like, "Yeah, dude, it's only like 2 hours away. Like, you can split gas with me in my truck, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm
We're gonna look
riding
this up.
today.
Look it up.
I'm-
We're gonna look it up.
Okay.
I'll look it up while we're chatting.
Okay.
But yeah. Regardless,
Yeah,
The challenge, right?
Yeah.
I even though I tell myself in my head I suck, the challenge that I want, I don't say I suck, I'm going to stop. I say I'm not as good as I want to be. I'm going to try my best to be better. And
Yeah.
the other day, 2 months ago or so, and it was 34 degrees out, 32 degrees, and you, Nash, and I were riding at the rail yard, and you were shoveling snow off the jumps, and
Oh
Nash,
my gosh, that's
Nash let me
awesome.
borrow his BMX bike. And
Yeah.
yeah.
with no brakes. I was like, I haven't ridden a BMX bike since I was a little kid, and I was riding it, and
Dude,
I
you were
was
doing so well.
I was so bad at it, and I was trying to control. I crashed once. It was awesome, right into the fence. But I was so bad at it,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get off of it. It was that
Yeah.
feeling of like I need to figure this out,
You're-
and I'm going to
yeah.
spend as much time on it as I can to start to get kind of comfortable
Yeah.
and like refine those little technique things that you can get away with on a full suspension bike, but you cannot on a BMX.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to fix what I'm doing. And I'm 43 now, and like my back's hurting, my legs are hurting, my hips are hurting. This is before hip surgery. I'm like, everything's hurting, but I can't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can't
because
stop.
it's not about does it suck or not. It's about
No.
is it fun or not.
So
Yeah.
fun, so challenging.
You know, if you suck at something
Love
and
it.
it's not fun, yeah, quit. If you suck
Yeah.
at something but
Yeah.
you're having fun,
Yeah.
who cares
Yeah.
what
Right.
anybody says?
That's my story every time I ride, man. Shoot, you're in pain, something hurts
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever, but the
Bro,
fun
but once
just,
you're warmed up and you're feeling the stoke, all of that
the
goes away.
fun just
You
Good.
just
supersedes
gotta
it all.
get
Good.
to the good part.
Yeah, you're just like I'll
Yeah.
deal with this.
It's
when
it's
we're
like
done.
a warhead, okay? At first
I'll
it's
go in that
sour
ice
and it
bath
sucks,
afterwards.
It's horrible.
Ice bath.
I know.
Then do
Oh.
some Wim Hof
Oh, you
breathing.
forget it all, man. It
Yeah.
hurts in the beginning, but
Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
just like you get engulfed in
Yeah.
all this fun and stoke.
One of my.
Brandon found a thing.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
this
see,
is
okay,
in
so
Oklahoma. This
Tulsa
Oklahoma.
was incorrect. It's
It-
OKC.
yeah,
Okay.
and it's not the wave pool that I was referencing, but
I know what you're
this,
talking
the-
about,
the
though.
Yes,
plunger?
yeah, the plunger.
The
Yes,
plunger
is
that
in-
is in
Au-
Waco.
It's in Australia.
No, there's one in like Florida.
There's-
yeah,
The
there's
plunge, the middle.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's
Uh-huh.
like
But
post-apocalyptic.
I thought they built
Yeah,
that
it's
somewhere
Australia,
else
dude.
too. No.
They're planning on it.
Okay. I thought they were trying to expand that business.
They are. They're
Yeah.
trying to expand the Waco, Texas one. There's all kinds of wave pool technologies out there.
Yeah.
Because I still follow all of them. I still follow all
yeah.
my surfing
That's
websites
cool.
and my videos and all this stuff.
Well, we were talking about cable
of
parks. On
Dude, it's okay. Like I still follow Call of Duty teams.
I can't
Right.
stop, man.
Yeah, but it was a part of your life for so long, so
So
it makes
long.
sense.
I
Yeah.
still look-
Shout out
I-
Optic Gaming.
Yeah. Okay.
there you go.
I still look at the new surfboards
Holler.
being made, even though I don't have one anymore.
Yeah.
Out of
Well,
control.
and then in the last episode, we were talking with the owner of Get Real
Yeah.
Skate Shop, and
Yeah.
he was talking about cable wake parks. So you're just
Yeah.
basically being pulled
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
one side to the other.
Yeah.
Oh, that
And
sounds sick.
It
Have you-
seems
have you seen
rad.
the Waco?
That's-
Have you seen the Waco Park?
Well,
Check it.
Finna look it up.
It's epic.
Well, those cable parks, I know for wakeboarding and stuff, though, like in
Yeah,
Florida,
that's it.
what is it called? Oh, something C. I'm forgetting now.
uh,
I am not a
it's the,
wakeboarder, so
Yeah.
but I've seen that kind of stuff. So
I don't
I'm
even
not a
swim
surfer.
anymore.
Waco
Me and water don't get along.
BSR.
Yeah, I'm more of a kind of dirt kind of gal, not the water. But
I dip my face in water and it's like I'm gonna start leaking in
I'm-
3, 2.
Yeah.
Can I say I'm mud because I like water and dirt?
I love that. Yeah, you
mud.
just-
I love mud. Mud's great.
Bloody guy.
that works. It works. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Love it.
I was gonna say, going back to what you guys were talking about, though. So, wanting to be better, which I definitely do every ride. But I think there's also finding that balance of not being too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
I struggle with that personally, especially because like you guys are. I love riding with riders that are better than me. 'Cause that's generally what I prefer because you will push me to be a better rider.
Yeah.
But there are these moments where. Personally, I do. I feel I'm not good enough, or I have so much to learn, or I have so much I want to do, and so sometimes I just need to ride my ride and have fun, and not
absolutely.
be in my head so much, and just go do whatever. And maybe it's a baby bar turn is what I call them, but that's still great. You're still doing something, you're enjoying it,
I feel like the group that we ride with when we ride together is just nothing but encouraging. And you're not
Absolutely.
like, that was like,
And
no,
you don't
no.
have to
Never,
think
no.
about it
You
that
don't.
much.
You don't
have
when,
to
think about
correct.
when
it.
we're
Yeah.
all riding together
just
and having a
fun.
blast,
Yeah.
you'll walk away being
Uh-huh.
better without even
Yeah.
thinking about it.
I 100% agree
Yeah,
with
you
that.
see something
Absolutely.
something that you've not done or that you've been thinking about doing, and it's like, oh well, they did it like.
Live.
Absolutely.
Either
front of
like
me.
I'm gonna try that because it's cool and they did it,
Mm-hmm.
and like you'll get that like support in return, or it's like I'm gonna ask how they did
Ask,
that
yep.
and try to figure it out, and
Yep.
again you get that support
Yep.
feedback. in return.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's
heck yeah.
good to have a group.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait, are we passing
Heyo.
around
What do
beverages?
you want?
Round two for
We're passing
Sure.
passing
Yeah.
beverages.
I'm
Passing
okay. No, thank you.
beverages.
What?
We're drinking
What is that?
We're drinking.
Gracias,
This,
sir.
adult
Can
It's-
beverages.
can I go downstairs for a
oh,
second?
absolutely. Take a break, my fine sir.
It's coming out.
What is this?
Sometimes it, just,
Juicy
it has to be
details.
done.
Wait,
It
what's-
has to be
Sounds like-
done.
Can I see that can?
This definitely sounds like some
I'm
adult
gonna
content.
Take
Juicy
that can.
details.
Oh, that's
this
that's
one?
new.
You
That's
want
new
one?
province. Yeah.
Well, kind
What?
of. Now that I'm seeing it's a hazy. Okay, so obviously my handle is brews. I love beer and I love coffee. So
You said
Those are
Well, we're
two
friends.
good things to love.
So,
I
yeah,
know.
we're friends for
You throw
sure.
video games and bikes in there, and you've got the quad.
Yeah, then we could have a commune.
Ooh, this is really good, Scott.
Yeah,
Can
it
I
is.
take
It's one of my favorite ones.
a detour from biking and talk about beer for 1 second.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
for
to
sure.
give me a beer, Scott. Well, you're giving everybody else a beer.
Do you want a cider?
I
Just
can't be
say no.
drinking a cider while everybody else is drinking a beer.
Dude, I'm only drinking beer
It
because I didn't want to
Nancy-
get up because
it
I'm going to get up
Nancy's me.
after Joe
You get the
is
one
back.
that we're all excited
It
about.
Nancy's me. Yeah.
Okay, so my side tangent though, guys, is have
Hit
you
it.
heard of the app Untapped for
Yeah.
beer?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Very
Nope.
cool.
That's the one we use at Odd Soul.
What is it?
and
That's
you
right.
know- You can see what
Untapped.
they got. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
like
that
if you go to a brewery that has it, you can see their menu on your phone.
Yes. Yeah.
But also you can
Check it
discover
in.
other
Yeah.
beers and like see
Mhm.
like if another brewery or another tap room is using it, you can see like what other things are out there. It's kind of neat.
Why do I know
Yeah.
I
Odd
love
Soul?
it.
Did y'all take me to Odd Soul?
Yeah, we might
What's
have
that, a brewery?
Springdale.
I haven't, but it's not to Springdale Square. The calzones are,
Oh.
Chef's kiss.
Calzone.
yeah, the calzones.
Calzone.
Are on-
Calzone.
Okay, so I haven't been there, but I've had something of theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a
Nice.
brewery? I'm sorry. I'm out of town or
I
shit.
guess
It's a
so.
tap
I'm-
room at the square in Springdale.
Okay,
Like,
alright.
It's a tap
If you
tap
go,
room.
you have to get their calzone.
Oh, it's
the
so
best.
good.
Dude,
Okay.
Springdale's like 20 minutes away. What
No
are we
need
doing
to
after
say
this?
more, I'm
'Cause,
sold.
You know, I came
We-
We
So
I came hungry.
what we'll do is we'll do a Fitzgerald run.
Yes.
Then we'll roll over there, have a beer, get a calzone. Boom.
Bro, it's going to
Love
be
it.
dark. We won't be able to ride Fitzgerald. Let's just go get that calzone.
Yeah, and then we could do that. Too.
he means like today.
I mean,
Today.
like,
Oh,
Today.
He's
Tonight,
jumping the
bro.
gun
Yeah.
right now.
like right now. Not
Yeah.
now, but like,
yeah, like after this.
yeah,
tonight,
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
don't
Let's-
threaten
let's
me with a good time.
Take the stoke off the internet right into the.
That's right. We'll
The
meet
calzone
everybody at Odd Soul after
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, if you're local to Springdale, like, come say hello and maybe kick one of us in the shins, not me.
Oh my
Yeah.
Not me.
Go with the buy you a beer instead. That's
Yeah,
way
right,
friendlier
right.
instead of the
Sounds
kicking the
nicer.
shit. Yeah.
Sounds nicer.
No, kicking the shins make you strong.
Okay, all right. Kick him in
Ready
the
for
shin,
pedal,
buy me a beer.
makes
It's
you
all
ready
good.
for pedal strikes.
It's like you're a kung fu master, but you're just taking like pedals to the shin.
Bro.
That was my whole first year of mountain biking. I swear to
Oh,
God, you guys.
Oh,
Like,
you were in training.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
have a
Dude, my-
puncture wound. Like it looks like a
Oh,
mole,
yeah.
but it is a straight up. My pedal just poof,
My
right into
whole
my
left
shin.
shin is just scar tissue. There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
longer skin.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah. It looks like an alien.
Which, oddly enough, I'm recovering from a gnarly gash.
Yes.
Like
tell
it was
Bro.
pinky-sized gash.
No, he was
Wait.
he should have went to the hospital, but didn't. So,
Well,
And then
That's
what'd you
what I
do,
keep
Scott?
thinking about his elbow.
To
but hey,
fix
he's
it?
fine now. So who cares?
I was
He's
just,
good.
I was farting around at the castle with a buddy of mine, and just it's the stupid 1-footer, and it just didn't go back on.
Bro, you know what it is
One-footer.
with your 1-footers? Like, you gotta yell, hi-ya!
Yeah.
You don't have to vocalize it, but like you gotta yell it in your head like old school kung fu movie.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Yeah, it's
You
like
gotta do it.
That's so funny to see it. The best tables I do, I go, Pya! I
Exactly.
literally go,
Just
Pya!
snap it.
Hey, I've heard you do that.
I love that.
I know even when you're
No.
not doing it vocally, you're
Yeah.
doing it in your head and they click.
What is that? What's the sound called? It's like your power sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Power
know,
move.
it's something to do with like karate.
I think I've heard him do it to
It's
other
like your
people.
chi or something.
Yeah, your
I know what
chi.
you're
I
talking.
did,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
connected to
Yeah,
that.
I
It's
love
connected to
that.
that.
Every
Yeah.
time I'm coming into the lip for a whip, I'm saying Kamehameha. And
Just
on
ex-
that note, I'll be back.
Yeah.
All right.
That marks the donut pee break.
I like it.
We might just be going right down the line, by the way.
We're just gonna
Once
cycle
break
you
the
guys
seal,
through.
Yeah.
Scott knows my bladder.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
We road tripped last weekend together. And
Yeah, to
Yeah.
Turkey
to
Mountain,
Turkey
right?
Mountain. We
Yeah.
got in the car, and 30 minutes into the car,
We
I was
didn't
like,
even make it to
I
silent
gotta
sprint.
stop,
Yeah.
man.
I
Like-
love that. Thank God, because usually it's like the girl like who's
Yeah,
like I have
true
to
that,
pee.
true
So
that.
to the fact that you are, that makes me feel like shoo.
I'm
When we go
like-
to
You-
Claremore
you
or
don't
whatever,
feel
I'll
so
feel
bad.
like shoo. Yeah,
You don't
feel so
I know.
bad.
I feel good. We're in the
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
gosh.
am well hydrated. I drink, I'll drink 5 glasses of water when I wake up, 3 cups of coffee. I'm like, okay.
Same.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's what I love. I'll make a
Sure.
French press.
Fluids.
I'll make a full French press and just like all
Fluids.
like it does not last past the morning. Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
coffee.
Yep.
I'd
For sure.
IV it to me if I could.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tap on something that's
Oh.
a little different? Not different, but
Yeah. Oh,
closely,
yeah.
closely related.
Tangent
We're talking
Yeah.
about biking and riding with people that are better, or riding with a good group to get better.
Sure.
But I heard something great in a podcast not so long ago, and I feel like I've always tried to live this way. Was just in general, right? Have somebody in your life that you're constantly mentoring, somebody that's your equal, and somebody that's better than you. So you're constantly being a good example to somebody. You're constantly sharpening iron on iron, and then you're constantly pushing things a little better, right? Like trying to be better. I guess I could relate to biking, life in general. Just trying to
Well, and
be
Absolutely.
a better human.
well, that's what fellowship I think actually brings, is because when you're able to be around people that you share a common bond with, you're in a space where you want to grow together.
you gotta
You're
grow.
and it happens with people. Like you go out with. I feel like most people who ride with people of a similar skill set. Not exactly the same skill set, but like it seems like in mountain biking, Donut, this is a great time for you to come in. So
Before you can
you're
continue,
back. Go ahead.
I'm in mountain bike shape, but bro, you got stairs. Those are my stairs.
Donut needs a second
There's
before
only
he
like 6
responds.
stairs.
Before he responds.
Okay, please continue.
So okay, my point is that
Oh my
it seems like groups are created off of like a range of skill sets. So I mean, you have
absolutely.
like, you know, maybe we could even say your greens, your blues, your black.
Nah, bro, we black and blue
riders.
crew.
Black and blue crew.
I'm brown.
Brown crew.
Mud.
The brown
Mud
crew.
Oh, that.
I don't think we have
Okay.
brown. I don't think we have brown trails.
I thought we were going back to mud.
Yeah,
You know, whatever.
But yeah, like it seems like we group ourselves within skill set, and I always feel bad for people who feel like they are not of that skill set but want to ride with you, and they
and they don't say anything.
Yeah.
And it's like they just you ask people to ride, because this happens a lot. You ask people to ride and they go, I can't make it.
Yeah.
And then you come to find out, like through other channels, that well, they're not riding because they're not at your skill set and they're intimidated, and you're like,
well,
Yeah.
I mean, we've heard this
Like,
a
we don't
couple of
care
different
about that.
times from friends of ours, where it's like they want to ride with us, or like they want to get into like maybe riding more, but they're like this comment or this phrase always bugs me. I want to ride, but you guys just ride way crazy stuff, and I just can't do that.
Dude,
It's like that's not right.
Riding behind people, and not that I'm like super good or anything, but riding behind people that are not at my skill level, or however you want to put it, it's almost more fun than riding with the guys or the crew or whatever.
I know what you mean
because,
by that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
you can you see new trail features that you didn't see when you're behind them, or you can jib around on jumps, or like learn to manual, or little things like that. And so like they get to have a good time, but also that facilitates your progression because you're in a super safe zone with your friend having a good time, just dicking around. And that's when we both, I said it earlier, like when we play is when we learn the most.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And as adults, we forget to go and play on our fucking bikes.
Well, I have I seem to be our with the coin term hot dogger on the in our crew, and I always try to play around on the bike. I just want to just play around, flick the bike around, do this, do that. Not really like I'm not trying to do anything, but I'm just trying to like I would equivalent to like freestyling. Like you're just like kind of going on the trail.
Just
I don't
being
have a
playful
plan.
all
You
the
bring
I don't
that
have a
like
plan.
skate park,
Have fun.
like just literally that skate park style to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like you're skateboarding on your bike. It's fun.
Yeah, pop here, slide there,
Yeah.
revert here or whatever. And I think that something about that allows you to like let loose a little. Like you want to like loosen up
Yeah,
a
for
little
sure.
bit.
I think improving on your bike, like
I'm in
as
attack
things
position
come at you,
the whole trail.
Yeah, you're
time.
just locked in. You're just locked in the whole time. No, you can't do that, dude. Yeah.
Sometimes that's me trying to follow somebody. I'm just like, trying to stay right behind.
Yeah.
Dude, that
But
is me behind Joe. Joe's like, yeah, bro, you're so good, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you're fast. Can you slow down a little bit?
I have 60 pounds on you, so I'm gravity, baby, gravity.
That's gravity, baby.
Nah, dude. I need to take a cornering lesson from you. Teach me to turn.
All right.
Do
I mean,
it. There.
okay.
Coaches training coaches.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's right.
Hey,
It's cool, like-
everybody's got something to learn,
right.
right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
for sure.
I always ask people. I ask you every time. Hey, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Yeah.
How'd you do that? How'd you do
Absolutely.
140 man? How'd you do X up? I'm like,
Yeah,
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want
Dude,
know
and
all this
then
cool
20
stuff.
minutes
I'm the
later, I'm
exact
finally
same.
done describing it. You're like, wait, what was I trying to do?
What was the first step? Yeah.
Dude, that's what's cool about
that's
like
great.
being a coach is sometimes I get to coach the skills that I suck at. And so like to the average person, I'm, kind of pretty good at it. But to me, I'm like, that was dog shit. And
Yeah.
they're like,
You're
"Woo!"
trying
and I'm
to.
like,
You're trying to.
no,
you're
but that
trying
was
to make
progression for me. And so it's super
Yeah, no,
cool
that's
being
good.
a coach in that regard too.
That's
Because
good.
you get to slow down and match other people's pace and be
Mhm.
relatable. And through that, you get to learn some about yourself and how you ride
is.
and stuff like that. And then that leads back into teaching. And it's
That is.
super fun.
No,
Like-
that's great.
Yeah.
We all forget how we can always be better, and we might be better than somebody, and that's we can aspire to this, but also someone's aspiring to us, right? Or to
Yeah.
you, like
Yeah.
I say us as a whole,
100%.
right?
It's not a
100%.
skill
And that's-
competition. It's
No.
a smiles competition.
Abs-
Whoever had the most smiles at the end of the ride,
Yeah.
they win.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if I threw a fat whip and all you did was like one tiny little wheel lift. If you smiled the whole time and I let a frown slip in at least once, you win.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you remember we had a clinic this last week? You were there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
were there.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna bring you into this.
Are we
And
We're excited for it.
Are
And
we
there-
talking turkey?
We're talking turkey.
Gobble gobble.
We're talking turkey.
Is this turkey talk?
I love
There's,
it.
Dude, I've been waiting to talk about turkey so long.
Well, okay, we'll wheel into that. Intro to jumps.
No. We'll wheelie,
We'll wheelie into
that.
this. Intro to
Guys.
jumps.
I was taking a drink.
This lady, shout out to Tracy.
Oh, I think you told me this story.
And intro to jumps, and she just gave up. Remember, she gave up, and she pulls.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're both coaching, so he's still working. Like, so I could take her side. I'm like, what's going on? You okay? And she's like, I can't do this. Like, what's going on? Like, I can never been able to jump. I've lost all my confidence. I kind of felt like I was going over the bars, and I'm done. And I could see in her eyes.
Yeah.
She's maybe like I don't want to put an age on her, so I won't. But I could see it in her eyes. She was like kind of getting teary,
Like frustrated.
I was like, come over here. We'll go to the grass. Let's just go do a couple exercises together. And we were just doing turns and some pressure turn. Just pushing suspension in. And then I held her tired, and I was like, show me your body position. I straightened her out a little bit, and then we started to do just one wheel lifts, and I changed her body position just a little bit. And then she started to get her front tire off the ground, and she was like, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, now give it a little like, really push into the ground. Like, and then I held her again. I was like, imagine our trampoline, right? She did it like 3 times in a row. She got her front tire and her back tire off. It was like, it was like this, but I was like, yeah!
And she had no idea that she even got off the ground
I
or
love
something.
it.
It's
Yeah.
funny because
She was losing it.
He yells. I turned around and was like, yeah!
You're just stoked, just stoked for the stoke.
I love it.
So we go back to 2 lifts
Love
because
it.
we did a half an hour on the bags, a half an hour on the trail, half an hour back to the bags, and then we ended a half an hour on the trails. So we go back to 2 lips again in session 2 lips.
Wonderful.
Great little blue jump trail, great intro trail. And the lady is clearing everything.
Oh, I love
No
this.
joke.
What?
I have the footage, everything. And the tables are maybe
Sure.
Yeah.
table.
Awesome.
Table.
As it's a table.
App.
And she was like, I've never done that before in my life.
That
Never.
is
Never.
rad. That's
She
rad,
She was
dude.
she
That's
was
rad.
so stoked.
And
She left a great review, but she was so stoked. She was so stoked.
That's great.
It's just
That's
like a
great.
little cool thing.
I love
That's
that.
great.
Little cool
That's
thing.
great. That's
a little
great.
teeny little
Tweak.
tweak.
And I think that highlights something cool about like the Matthew Mark Foundation and Gravity NWA clinics is we've always got 2 coaches on duty, whether it's me and Joe, which it was in that particular situation, and like I didn't see her reactions, and like she kept asking me the same things, and like it was clear that I couldn't help her, but I was trying to find that string of words that clicks with somebody, because sometimes that's what it's about. Like you can put things 10 different ways, they get it
Yes.
one way, or
yeah.
finally they feel it and it clicks, and you're like, okay, that's how I talk to that person. So it's always
it.
kind of like a learning evolution.
Yes.
Joe was able to pick up on everything she needed,
Yeah.
and like
And
got
it
her
connected.
So much, yeah, it got her
Yes.
so much further than I ever could have.
Yeah.
So like
That's a fair point.
that's kind of a niche that I feel like we fill is a lot of our clinic, not a lot, all of our clinics will be at least 2 coaches on duty.
Right.
Maximum.
This is
people.
a really good call out because people learn different ways, and even so I'll speak from my personal experience. Like people might when I would ask like, how do I do this, like the way they explained it, or it wouldn't even be full sentences. Sometimes they might be like, well, and then you're gonna and then bah, you know, bah.
Yeah. Some sound effects.
But for me, I was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm gonna and a bat and a bat. I don't know what that means right now. I
Sure.
need some help. But then somebody else would come and say, you're gonna press your heels down. That's like, and that was actually a game changer for me a couple of years ago. That changed everything, or like a story. So I can relate to her and how she learned, or you know, because
Speaking through metaphors.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So
Very,
someone may
very
have a teaching
powerful.
style which works so great for 50%, and then someone else has a teaching style for the other. You know, and you find your niche, and they find the right person to connect with.
It
So
fills and it fits.
yeah, absolutely.
that's great.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Was she on the video you posted on the story?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta watch
she
that
was.
then, because I want to like
She-
find her and be like, you rock,
The-
because that's awesome.
The biggest jump on that jump line is a step down.
Oh, nice.
It's a nice poppy. You can get
Yeah,
some.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can get some air.
Yeah,
It's
for
nice.
sure.
It's a nice step down,
It-
and I can't believe it.
It scared me blind. It's
She
so
That's
nice.
great.
launched it.
That's great.
She launched it.
Because
sick.
because that calls back to like the just being like stoked for that person at their
Yeah.
skill level. It doesn't has as little to do with like, did you do a tail whip?
Yeah, right.
Like, a woman wasn't gonna do a tail whip. Never
Yeah.
gonna do a tail whip. But like she did something that was like Gnar for
It
her.
was-
Absolutely.
And like that's what's important.
But
you
even
know,
better than all of her progression was literally she was the loudest person down the trail.
yeah,
She's louder than me.
Louder
She's
than
louder
me.
than me.
I gotta ride with her.
It was
Because I don't
great.
believe it.
You sure about that?
I'm like, already done with the trail. She's like halfway down, and all I hear is
just hear
for
it.
the next like minute, it's just woo, oh, yeah. And I'm like, that's riding. That's what
That's like-
riding's all about.
That,
my
that calls
gosh.
back to what you were
Yeah.
talking about.
Yes.
Like she had more fun than
Yeah.
you that
Yeah.
day, donut.
yeah. If I could hear screams like that every time I'm on a climb, like
Yeah.
Oh my
no
gosh.
climb would ever suck.
I
Yeah,
love
for sure.
that.
For sure.
Those sounds of I've never done this before,
Yeah.
and I can't believe I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Safely.
The sounds of the 1990s Herbal Essences commercials.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
yes, yes.
That's great.
I forgot
That's
about those
great, yeah.
commercials, you guys. That is awesome.
great.
Oh my gosh.
All right, tell us about turkey.
Wait, can I
James.
tell a quick story
Heck
too?
yeah, of
Okay, I'm
course.
sorry. I'm so
Can I?
inspired by Tracy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I have a friend Michelle. Have you guys met Michelle and Ben? Like Ben Flipside?
I know Ben. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I
I've
don't know
seen
Michelle.
Ben 2 times.
Amazing.
think
They're
we
both
knuckle
amazing.
bump.
Shout out to Flipside.
Yes, shout out to Flipside. But Michelle is his wife, and she's amazing. I love her. But she was at the Skills Park area. She had done the small.
Put it in the hole, Scott.
I did.
She had done the small drop. You got nothing.
Nothing.
Check
Uh-oh.
check below
Connection.
that connection below.
I
Keep
can
falling
go.
down. Keep falling
Yeah, Scott,
down.
check the other hole.
I don't need this. Do you want to use mine?
No.
There we go. No.
Yeah.
You got it?
It was just a misconnection.
Oh.
He just pulled his plug.
Oh, the old plug pool.
Plug pull. That's all.
Plug
I knew
hole.
it
Hole's-
happened.
A hole's a hole.
I knew it happened. Yeah.
But so
Continue.
she had done the small drop in the Skills
Not
Park.
for kids.
I didn't see it though, so she was just
Like the
telling
current
me.
iteration of the skills. Park?
Correct, the
Like-
current one.
like
Yep.
This
Yep.
one?
Yeah.
Like on that side?
Yep, the
Yeah,
smaller,
the
the
roll
smaller one or whatever.
Roll
You know,
down.
still great. You know, so she had done it. I hadn't seen it, but when we had met up, she's like, I really want to do the medium, and I was like, well, let's see the small one. Like, go do it. Let me video you. Let's talk about it. So she did the small one. It looked great. Like, there's no issues, right? So then I was like, no, you've got it. You've got all the skills. See what you're doing here. Just try that on the medium. It's just going to be a little bit bigger. You're going to be fine. Just be confident in yourself. Look at this video. The video thing is really powerful, I feel.
Yeah,
Because it gives
absolutely.
you like, oh, look at me. I'm doing this, right?
100%.
She went and just did it. Like, nobody's business. And I was like, see, girl. And then I'm pretty sure just like a week later, she did the large one. And I was
Did
like, yes. And I'm like, see, it's so like, but that stoke where she was like, I just did it, you know. And then now she's confident enough to go do the next one. It's just, it was so exciting to be a part of that and see those.
Take her to Huntley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just a drop.
I
Yeah,
have,
just
yeah,
the drop,
yes,
just the
for
drop.
sure. No, I have a
Drop is
Yeah.
chill.
There's
Drop
a
is chill.
couple of women. I think that's a niche too. Like in this area, I'm so excited because I've had some like reach out and say, "Hey, I want to learn how to progress my drop skills." I am so stoked to like take them to Huntley or Mad Hatter or whatever may be next for their certain skill set because that's gonna be so much fun to see.
I love teaching
Yeah.
drops.
Yeah.
'cause
Oh,
it's
me
like
too.
the
Absolutely.
easiest thing to teach, kind of. And
It's just the fear
every
they got to
time
get
the,
over.
The customer's satisfied.
It's
Yes.
that's what it
Yes.
is. It's not that it's just the easiest thing, but it's also it's the stoke that's gained from that is
Absolutely.
one of the highest.
Yeah.
When you drop off something
Yes.
that's like, I would never jump
Yeah.
off that.
I-
I
Yes.
would never.
Yeah.
And then they do it.
And they
You
do it.
know.
I had a
It's-
guy
it's
like
great.
that this past week. He was like, we got up to the biggest green drop in that session zone, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to go any further." And I'm like, "Dude, are you
got
sure?
it.
Like, you see this video? And did you see the video of like me doing the big drop? Because you asked me to. Like, they look the same." And he was like, "But," and I'm like, "You don't have to do it. I'll never push you. But like,
Yeah.
Right.
check this out." And I went out and I just rolled it like a little poke
Yeah,
and
just-
press maneuver.
yeah.
The smallest drop on the blue line. And he was like, "Oh, well, if I can roll it, then I can do the drop." And I was like, "Yeah, bro, you got the drop. Do you want me to tow you in, or do you want me to pull you?" And he's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Your choice." He's like, "Okay, tow me in." I'm like, "Dude, I can't get it on camera then."
Yeah.
He's like, "Doesn't
Do
matter.
it.
Tow me
Let's
in."
do it. Yeah.
I towed him in. Hit the drop, look back. He hits the drop.
Yes.
A little bit squirrely on the landing, but like
That's okay.
the
That's
look
okay.
on his face
Face.
was
It's
just
I love it.
surprise.
It was
Yeah.
like
Yes.
that photo that
Complete
they
surprise.
captured on roller coaster rides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's right in the middle of the loop, and you're like,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yep.
like
Yep.
ultimate butthole pucker, but like ultimate like
Totally,
adrenaline and
totally.
dopamine, just
Yeah.
like everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was great. And so we did it like 7 more times, dude. It
Love
was
That's
it.
dope.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I would say though, like going back to what you said, like it is easy to teach, but at the same time, it's like I hate to say that because like it's such an accomplishment to like that
Yeah.
air time or that like the potential for anything, right? While you're riding, but I don't know. There's something exciting about it, and as you add the little bit of airtime up more and more, like from that little one, you can kind of feel it a little bit, and so it takes that courage to. You're gonna be fine. Just implement the same practice. You got this.
Totally.
Yeah.
To be clear, like, the only thing I would say is easy to teach is drops.
Sure. No,
everything else, it's like there are 7 steps that go into
Okay,
this.
that I believe.
Yeah. Well, and
absolutely.
and I kind of want to steer this a little bit into like where I have my struggles is in big jumps. So like I'm kind
big
of like
long or big up.
big up. Yeah. So like my thing is like I'm progressing further and further into jumps and tricks, and it's the same thing. It's the same issue that a new rider has of I'm not sure if I can do this.
Dude.
It's that same
y'all heard
thing.
it here first.
I'm gonna go
Okay,
use.
I'm a
Absolutely.
dirt jumper, but
Yeah.
I'm struggling
No, that's
with the up jumps.
with the up jumps. Yeah,
Up
yeah.
jumps.
So like it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. Like it's like admitting that you don't have it figured out.
Yeah.
And knowing that you need to break down that barrier so that you can like make it to that next phase of progression.
Yeah.
I don't-
To me, it's like pool. It's like I can see it, I can visualize it, I know it's gonna work, but actually doing it, half the time I miss the shot, the other half the time I sink the 8 ball. So either way, I'm screwed.
Yeah, but you still shoot the shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that that's a matter of like dropping in. Like I think about something like where I have to break a barrier, where it's like let's say it's a jump, like a big jump I've never hit. Like say I'm gonna just like use a reference point, but like say like an 8-foot lip.
Yeah.
You know, like I've never hit an 8-foot lip, but I think there's gonna be a time where I'm gonna drop in and just say, okay, I'm just gonna go. I have to admit that I don't have this, but I gotta break a barrier.
Yeah.
I gotta like pop a balloon or something. It's like just go.
Yep.
Just go. You know.
There's a lot. I think there's a lot of stuff when you hit barriers that I learned from doing another activity. It's just like trust the technique is something that resonated with me, and it just when you're confident in your techniques and where you're at, there's things that are scary, and you know you're breaking another barrier, and when you decide to do it, it for me, I constantly tell myself, trust the technique, bro. You can do you can do this. You're just getting in your head, and you just do it.
But you need to get yourself out of the I'm in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, like you need to say this is more, like you said, trust the technique. Like you have to say I have this.
Yeah.
Like I
So
drop in
sometimes-
with confidence.
Sometimes for me, it's like, fuck the technique. Trust the stoke.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Absolutely.
I've got
Absolutely.
the technique.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking about this? I need to just, follow somebody like Joe who's fast enough that he's going to drop me. So, like, I know if I'm at a speed that I can keep him in sight, I can hit stuff. Or Nash, who's poppier than me. So, like, if he's popping super high, that means I've got the speed to, like, pop my normal amount and clear. Whatever the case may be. So, like, trust the stoke sometimes is what really gets somebody through. Like, if you know you've got the skill but you're thinking about it, just trust the stoke.
Well,
but then on the flip side of that coin, if you're not feeling it that day, like our buddy Naaman at Turkey Mountain was not feeling it. He did not drop in. He lived to fight another day, and there was never, ever any
nothing
shame
wrong
in
with that.
I'm a big
Nothing
advocate
wrong
of
with
that,
that.
man. Like there's a
Shout out to Naaman.
Yeah, Naaman's for
Yeah.
rock star.
Yep.
But it is like him and I looked at that wonky drop that we did with the quick little berm.
Yeah,
And
that thing was fun.
And Nash just went for it, and then we both looked at each other as like, we're the old geezers, and we're like, what are we doing here, bro? And I was like, I don't know, but you know what? If you decide that you're doing it, I'm gonna do it with you.
Yeah.
I'm just as scared as you are, but we're gonna do it together. And he's like, fuck it, let's do it. And then we just went for it, and we both made it.
So it's about breaking your like it's fear. Like fear
Totally.
I don't know where I saw this, but like fear is an emotion, and emotions are controllable.
Yep.
And I really feel like
Is it from Fearless, the book Fearless?
it could be, but it's
It's a sports psychology
it's
book.
probably bastardized by a few other people.
Okay.
But I think that, you know, and just looking at it in my own, it's like I'm, you know, like I'll reference tricks right now. So like I'm afraid to let a no foot can go.
Yeah.
And I can't, like I'll pop it and I'm thinking, all right, this is the time when you're going to try it. I'm going to try it this time. And then, you know, I get to the lip and it's just that moment right at the lip. It's right at the lip.
That decision point.
It's the decision point, and you let go, and it's like I'm gonna do something or I'm not gonna do something.
Yeah.
You know, and because I think that and it probably translates to lesser technical things, but it's the same issue. It's fear. You have to trust the technique. Let it go.
Yeah.
There's
Let
there's,
it go.
there's some,
Let it go.
should we're recording this. Are we making an album?
I love it.
Remix?
Guys.
Donuts remix of
I'll do
Frozen.
harmony with you. Let's do it.
That's
I know all the Disney songs.
Can you
every
sing
single
that
one.
as
Dude.
we're doing the feature too? That could be
I don't
inspirational.
care
So-
what they're going to say.
Look, let's not go too far off the rails here.
On the fear thing. On the fear thing, there's a Kingdom of Giants lyric that like really rings true. It's like, fear does not control me. It's deprivation to my self-creation.
Okay.
Okay? So like you can control your fear,
Mhm.
and then you create a better, you know, progression path for yourself, whatever the case may be.
Sure.
The other thing is weird karaoke story. The version of Let It Go that I sing is by Betraying the Martyrs, and it's screamed verses and sang choruses. And this
Of
chick,
course.
this lady in the crowd was like flipping me off and like cussing me out while I'm screaming. And then every time I would start singing the chorus, she was singing with me and was like trying to get the mic. And that's like my fun karaoke metalcore experience.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
I have something to offer you, Brandon.
Shout out to
That's
Infusion.
real talk. Yeah.
Love that
Yeah.
bar in Fayetteville.
The next Sunday Fun Day, we're gonna have a 6-foot bag and a 6-foot more vert jump than the last.
Yeah,
one was
yeah.
done.
We
Yeah.
we
So,
talked about it
let's-
slightly. I didn't know what
let's-
you
We're
were
also
doing.
going to
Let's get-
have the
let's get-
4-foot
let's get-
kicker.
Let's get that. Let's get you. Let's
I'll
get you cranking
I'll
on
try
that.
it. I'll try it.
We're,
100%.
we're also going to have the 4-foot
Yeah.
kicker for a 2-foot step up.
Oh, gotcha.
Maybe-
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm a step-up guy.
Sure,
Oh.
sure.
Stepping up.
Do you think
Step
is
it
a
up.
step up? Will that help? Okay, I missed the beginning of
Go-
what
go
what
ahead.
you said, but like I'm thinking about Scott and how he said he had the hammer down step up to
Yep.
do a 1-footer. So step up is better for those because you have that hang time, right?
And you land going a lot slower. The
Yeah.
risk is
It's
less.
it's
than
that you're
So
not
speeding
coming.
a
so much
third
more
jump of cease and
forgiving
desist.
if you don't pull it off.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
And-
that's
but,
good.
but you
that's
have
good
to
to know.
clear the
Yeah, you have to
like
get over the hump.
knuckle.
The
If you can clear the knuckle, a step up safer. If you can't clear the
Makes
knuckle,
sense.
it's better to hit like either a smaller step up or kind of a straight jump.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you get good air time,
That's exciting.
Yeah.
and you don't necessarily go as far, and you're not going as fast in the air. So
Yeah.
Like if you
if
think
something
of a
were to
step up,
happen,
like,
it's more forgiving.
you know, like
Yeah.
here's the lip, here's
Yeah,
the,
that makes
the
sense.
the face of the landing, so it's stepped up. Like you've got all that time in between to throw your trick and still get your feet or whatever back on before you're even above the landing.
Well, and
That makes
and,
sense.
and as far as like fear and because everybody always has it's the fear of falling straight up. Everybody has the same.
Dude,
it's the
I
same
hate
fear.
step
Yeah.
downs.
It's the same fear for all of us.
Yeah.
So like
Absolutely.
the fear of falling, actually what it is when you're doing a step up, it's like you're falling less.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yep.
you're
Absolutely.
going up, but you're falling down lesser.
Absolutely.
So like, but you still get the hang time.
Yeah.
You're up,
Yeah.
and then you just land at the top,
Yeah.
and you're up there. And that's why I think a lot of people get so many gains off of the hammer down step up.
Yeah, that
It's
makes
Yeah.
so
sense.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, you're really inspiring me because I really would like to do eventually a 1-footer like on that. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to do a 1-hander because my
Yeah,
like
well,
the
I
whole
was-
that's in my head a little
like-
still,
like-
but I do want to do it. So that's on my bucket list,
Don't,
guys.
don't lock
There we
yourself
go.
into one or
There
the
we
other.
go.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
get both.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
true.
Get both.
That's true.
And,
sure,
then,
for
then
sure.
you either
Yeah,
get
yeah.
a hangman or a 2-star out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and that's
Yeah.
like the old guy's signature maneuver. You know?
Yeah.
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 Like 35 years old,
Yeah.
dropping hangmans on every jump. Like, you know.
Yeah.
It's not
Looking
cool,
good.
but I do it.
I can relate. Yeah.
That's exciting though.
But like, don't lock yourself down to something, I guess, is the main point of that. Because like sometimes it's like, oh, I can't get my foot off, but then you can get your hand off. So don't worry about your wrist. It's about the technique.
That's actually true. Well, when I went
and the baby steps it takes to learn that technique.
Yes, yeah. No, I hear you. You definitely like when I had, was kind of in my head initially, about my wrist and stuff. You were like, you got it. Like you were very encouraging, but also like if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it, kind of thing. But that's true. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's about like trust, like the trust in the technique, but also trusting your own skill. Because I think yes. We, like I'll be the first to admit it. I think that I'm not as good of a rider, and then I hit something, and I'm like, yeah, I had that. I had that very clearly. Yeah,
black gold at Turkey Mountain. I was like, I don't like seeing it on Instagram and stuff. It's like I don't know how big this is. Like I don't really know. Blah blah blah. Like a little bit of uncertainty, and then Joe's like, just follow me in, and I followed him in, and like we did basically a full pull.
Yeah,
and then went back and looked at everything, and I was like,
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Did I just do that?
It's a proper.
Holy shit!
It's a proper.
Let's do it again.
Proper black.
And then the second time, like
that's
there's
good
no
to
nerves
hear.
or anything.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Was that black gold?
Yeah.
I knew.
And so then back to the learning, like you've got the process, you've got like just let it go, but then you've also got like trust the steps it takes to get there, whether it's 2 steps or baby steps.
And if it doesn't happen overnight, or if it doesn't happen that like month or whatever, it's like I mean I kind of think of it like this issue that I have with these no foot cans is like I've been working this over in my head for months and maybe even a year, like, and it didn't have to happen that first day, and it's gonna happen what's gonna happen. That's it. That's it.
Yo,
I think you kind of know.
Let's go.
Airbag day.
Don't put pressure on him. You gotta feel it, right?
Or
6 foot.
Or do you want pressure?
Foam pit day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, foam pit would
Jump
be
into
great.
the lake.
Yeah, lake would be chill. I could do some lake. I think lake is when I could work on flips.
The water's
I
back
think
up.
That's
At
when the water gets.
It's up.
It's not all the way up, is it?
I drove by yesterday and it was almost all the way up, and then with all this rain that we're gonna get this week,
Well,
I think it's gonna be
sure.
totally filled. Yeah.
My backyard.
Yeah.
Wait, because you have a foam pit or a lake?
Dude, he's got the perfect day for us
I
to
wasn't
just
sure
hook
which
ourselves
one.
into
Yeah, I
oblivion.
feel like it could be one or the other. So
Yeah, we
I
have
think we've determined that it might work.
well,
Yeah.
I have a safer,
No, so
a much safer area.
Yeah.
A buddy of ours, Mike Sinani, he's got some lake property for their family, and the way that whenever the lake fills up to a higher point, it's got this like just complete drop off. So it's like you have this and this. So when you put a jump here, you can confidently go up knowing that it's just water. Yeah. And when the lake goes down, this is all like rocky area. It's very clear. So like confidently you know that you're going into a deep enough area. There's nothing under there. There's no sticks. There's no nothing. Yeah. And it's just water. Yeah. And if something happened with your bike and it went down or something, it's like right there. It's not too far down of a swim. You could just get down there.
I've seen people put what are those?
Noodles. Pool noodles.
On the frame. Yeah.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Yeah.
But the amount of air that's in your tires is about enough to keep up a light bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't do it on an e-bike, but
Wait, so
no e-bikes.
That's true.
No e-bikes in the
Scott,
lake.
ours are sinking. So
Yeah.
It was a rental.
It was a rental.
Is my park bike out? It weighs like 42 pounds.
I don't know. I think I really do think it is a matter of weight, because it's like weight versus like how much air. And it's like a 27.5 plus or like a fat bike would just easily float. Burn Peak did a video on taking a fat bike out into the ocean, and it just like
funny.
floated
That's
with
cool.
nothing.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Like there's this one like YouTuber I watch who like recovers vehicles.
Yeah.
And the vehicles.
Is it
Matt's
off-road
recovery. Yeah.
No. Adventures with Purpose is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
It's really good if you guys ever get a chance. But like, so anyways, like most vehicles when they go in, they end up flipping because of the tires. So like, yeah, so that 100% makes sense. Yeah. So when you find like an underwater vehicle, typically it's tires
up. It's tire up. Yeah. So I think that really you can. If I do it, I'm just gonna test the bike. Just take the bike out there and just like let it rest.
Maybe bring a cheap one you
just
found on the side of the road.
Yeah. Or just like my bike. I'll take my bike out there.
Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my dirt jumper.
I mean, I'm not worried
Whatever.
about water getting into the seals. A service on that fork's like what, $100?
No, I just meant like to find it though. Like what if you're like, oh, I didn't realize that there's. Well,
like, okay, so that's the cool part about my buddy spot is that it's like I said it was like this on the drop off, and then like right down here it's like gravel.
Oh my gosh, that's nice.
So it's like you could do something and the bike sink, and you could probably swim down there and just.
And if not, there will be friends around who will be happy to help you.
True, very true.
I'm not much of a diver myself, but I feel like I'm around enough buddies that would be like, I'll go down.
I can hold my breath exactly 6.9 seconds.
Yeah, and grab that bike.
You
can grab that bike. Yeah. Bring a rope, go down there, swoop it up.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Scott talked about trust the technique a while ago. Does your audience know about where you got that phrase from? Does everybody know where you got that?
Are you talking about the lyric, don't sweat the technique?
We talked about this. We drove to Turkey Mountain together, back and forth. We spent 5 hours in the car together one day.
Are we getting into Turkey?
There was no silence. We were talking the whole time. And
I love that.
And you told me about trust the technique and where that came from.
It came from I got into Muay Thai training for a few years, and that's where I got it from a lot of sparring, and you learn a lot of technique. But when you go in there and actually spar with somebody, it's very easily that stuff can go out the window because you're just kind of there's this like fight or flight kind of thing, and a lot of times you can get out of control. And it just constantly in your ears, trust the technique. And then when you start learning the techniques that you did and you just start implementing them and calm down and just use your technique, next thing you know, stuff was landing. And it's like, okay, I get it. And so ironically enough, it literally applies to a lot of different things that you do, not just Muay Thai.
No, that's true.
You learn a technique.
I was like,
oh no, I'm like,
but you learn techniques on how to do things, and it's sometimes like you know, it's like, it looks sketchy, but you're good enough to do it.
Look, okay, donut. I'm shaking my head because I know that when it comes to tricks, there's a fundamental rule is that you hit the lip, you leave the lip, and then you come to a point of we'll say for the sake of the show, gravity weightlessness. Like you get to that point of and then that's when you're supposed to let the trick go. Okay, and I know that if you trust the technique, you whenever you get to that point, you can do whatever trick. Because I remember this as a kid. Whenever I used to ride BMX as a kid, you could just. When I say you, I could. My journey was I could get up to that jump and hit the jump, and then when you're in the air, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this trick or that trick, whatever. And it's like kids listening to this they're like, what are these old people talking about? I do that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's when you're a kid, you have that fearlessness. Yeah. You just let it go. Yeah. But I know that when you trust the technique and you actually get up and you hit a steep lip and you wait for that point, you can do whatever trick.
Yep.
So it's like when you trust the technique, you land it. You can land it because you trusted the technique, and you might have even done a move, even in like Muay Thai, where oh, I didn't do that before, but did it that time. Yeah. And then and you figured it out. You unlocked something, and I think that it's like the trust that's the hard part. Trusting yourself.
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah. It is. It applies to like a lot of just life and a lot of things. Is just navigating through life.
Yeah.
Trust your technique.
Trusting oneself is the hardest thing because. you know, after a certain point, you're not really taught how to live. It's just like, figure it the fuck out, boy.
Yeah.
No, it is.
And,
It
and
is.
girls,
It
and
is.
girls,
It
boys
is.
and
Yeah,
girls,
yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Like, here you
absolutely.
So I
Yeah.
did want to touch on because I was so hyped about this.
Is this the Turkey Mountain segment?
Yes.
Yes.
Look,
I saw some
I love
videos and I
Bentonville, but-
always we've even planned a
Yeah.
couple of times.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I even threw it out to the boys like, "Hey, we should go to Tulsa next weekend." Oh yeah, I'd be down, and then it fizzled
Yeah.
out. And so that was like this was my opportunity. That place is dope.
Dude, it was
And-
mind blowing. Look,
Yeah, and the thing that I didn't like for some reason, it was the vibe of it. I got a vibe off people there that it was like Bentonville versus Tulsa, and I spent my whole time there trying to subliminally go, it doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah, no,
Right.
not at all.
Doesn't-
It's a totally different place with totally different dirt. Why would you compare the two?
Yeah.
Totally
you're-
different.
Okay.
Why do they like? What would be the point in that?
Well,
I'm
because
just
it's
curious.
kind of the same like design ethos, but also totally different design ethos. Like, I love Bentonville, okay, and anybody who follows me on Instagram or whatever knows that like sometimes I kind of shit on it, but it's from a place of love. Like, I want it to be the best that it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bentonville is built for somebody, and I've said this to y'all, but probably never like in the social interwebs. Like, Kyle Strait can come here and have a ballin' day, and so can his mom, who's never been on a bike. Like, that is Bentonville. And then you branch out to like Bag 40 and Little Sugar and Centennial and Fayetteville and Fitz and all the things around it, and it gets a little bit more real, a little bit better like Arkansas terrain, less dirt
It's
ribbons.
got to be safe for tourism.
Right.
It has to be.
It is a
It has to
tourist
be.
attraction. It's like SeaWorld, but for mountain bikes. Okay, and that's awesome. But then you go to Turkey Mountain, and it's completely different. Like, the trails are kind of built to the same ethos where it's like they're supposed to make sense. They're kind of dirt ribbony. Like, you know where to go, you know how to ride it. Riding blind, because I was exhausted and riding it blind and still like clearing 90% of the jumps and stuff. But on the other side of that, like, they're more raw, they're faster, they're steeper. The dirt is different. It's more of like instead of like pebbly over hard pack, it's like sand over hard pack. So it's like a different kind of slip and grip. It's more like grip, slip, grip, and just there are different nuances. To quote Rich Drew, shout out Rich Drew. Like, it's a ball in place, and it's just as good as Bentonville. I wouldn't say it's better. I wouldn't say it's worse. It's just a different style, and it's badass.
It was a breath of fresh air. But,
Absolutely.
It
It reminded me of North Carolina, like the dirt, different trail
a little more
building
dusty.
style.
It kind of reminded me a little more.
Maybe.
Yeah, different trail building
Canoga
style for
style.
sure.
It
But
was
like
a-
the dirt was like
It was
North
San
Carolina and
Diego-ish
Arkansas had a
to
weird
me
love
with
child.
The dust, kind of with the dust. But I was like saying, like I was talking to Brandon about it, and it was like, you know, you come from Bentonville where it's just like the money's there,
Yeah,
you know, and you're not, you know, and it just everything just happens. You know, you can just have the best of the best. You go there, and it's like what we used to do for trying to advocate for skate parks. You got to raise money, and it's like nobody wants to invest the money. You got to raise a certain
That's
amount,
Wisconsin.
and they'll match it. You know, so you go over there, and it's like, oh, we got like $11,000 in donations, you know, or a grant for $11,000, whatever it was, and it's like that, like, reminded me of us advocating for skate parks. Back
Yeah.
then.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, so that aspect, it's apples to oranges. You know, it's like, you know, here it's just like it just happens. The money comes from you know who, and it just happens. There, you have to do it old school style.
Yeah.
And for what they have, for what they've been like working at, is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, the trail systems are awesome. I love the fact that the trails are a little bit longer, and it's just got a variety in a trail. It's not just a jump trail. It's not just a tech trail. It's like everything in a trail. And it's like, you know, God, what was the one? Not the Black Gold, but the other one. Boomtown.
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 Boomtown was like the blue trail of Black Gold. I didn't do black gold, but watching you guys do it, I was like, it's a step up, but it's like,
It's quite the step up from Boomtown.
I just love the fact that you just drop in and you're like, rat-a-tat through a rock garden, then boom, there's jumps, and then it's rat-a-tat again, and then there's like this bridge you got to jump off with concrete things on the bottom, and you're like, hell yeah, this is like raw.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Feeling
Yeah.
it.
Every trail was hammered down here in Bentonville, but like much longer and different dirt.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, and I think what I'm hearing, because I didn't get to partake in the fun.
Me either. We're on the same page.
But
FOMO.
it's like, it seems like
You're coming next time.
it seems like it's more like
That's what she said.
that is what she said.
That's the first one.
You got it out.
It's
You
okay.
got it out.
That's
Donut in
also
the
what
hole.
she
Donut
said.
in the hole.
Yeah.
But it's like it seems like it's like they looked for a healthy mix, and
Yeah.
like where if you look at Northwest Arkansas trails, it's like, okay, here's the flow trail, here's the tech trail, there's the more techie trail than the tech trail, there's the flow trail, but then there's the jump trail.
Dude,
Mm-hmm.
Bentonville
You know?
is the very
Yeah.
definition of down country.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is climbing and then a short descent.
Yeah.
So like you've got the country from the climbing,
Sure.
but you've got the down from the dirt ribbons and the awesome descents.
Sure.
It's just I just wish they were longer. But
Yeah.
like literally
But-
down
but
country
that's
and
not-
Bentonville, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and that's never gonna change.
It's so
I
cool.
mean, like
It is what it is.
It's so
yeah,
cool.
exactly. Yeah, I think that it's like when you look at the building style of Northwest Arkansas, it's like it comes from the terrain.
Yeah.
It comes from what's present. But I think at Turkey Mountain, it sounds like they're like, we have a limited budget.
Yeah.
We got to make this count.
Yeah.
So, tech,
Yeah.
jump, drop,
think
flow,
so.
whatever.
Maybe
think part of that's
utilizing
what makes it
the
so good.
like natural, like they're really integrating the natural
Yeah.
compounds or surroundings to make the trail the best. Is it? I'm asking because I don't know. I've never been there yet.
I feel like maybe I just have a little different take. I feel like in Bentonville we have. I am grateful for every trail we have here for free because
It's lovely.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't. I
Thousand-
try not to
1000%.
complain because
Very few places you
Oh,
can go
yeah.
and ride trails blind
and that
be
are
safe
and they're
have a gnarly
maintained
time.
like they are.
It's
Are
awesome.
you kidding? Like that's
So,
amazing. But yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Turkey has a limited, like they have a hub up top, so they have a few trails up there, and then they have a hub down below, and they have 4 trails down there. What can we do to utilize the most
Most of that.
because it's one
Yeah.
one zone. It's not like it's not as big as Kohler, I don't think. I know they're building some more trails,
Mm-hmm.
but Bentonville we're so spread out, so we're like, well, let's have this zone be exactly this to cater to this. We got some hand cut hollow,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
castle, the slaughter pen zone. I don't know. I just feel like why, like we talked about when we drive and just chat together, like why there's no competition. It could all
yeah.
be very complimentary.
Well,
Absolutely.
But there is
Um,
competition. It's not the way people look at it. We're not like Turkey Mountain and Slaughter Pen aren't necessarily like competing in like
They're
gold
they're-
or silver or bronze.
right.
It's you're competing for people's attention,
I
Yeah,
guess that's
totally.
it.
and attention
Yeah.
is kind of the most valuable thing in the world.
Right.
That's true.
But they're not
my,
selling
my
tickets.
But
rebuttal-
also the grassroots feel
My
is
rebuttal
what
to it
kind
all
of
would-
makes it able to compete and makes it interesting. Not
Yeah.
not compete again in that like competitive world, but like
But it's all
Yeah. It
it
complimentary.
competes for the attention because
You
it's
have- you
it's similar, so you can go ride it being a Bentonville resident, but it's different enough to like really scratch that itch of, ooh, this is different.
Well, I feel like if you're planning a week
yes.
to Bentonville, no matter
Yeah.
where you're
You-
from,
Incorporate
if you're
it.
from
should go there.
somewhere else, if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
from Wisconsin, Tennessee, we're going here for a week.
Yes.
This is good to
It's-
know too, Scott, because
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Wisconsin
If you're
people don't know
going here
about
for a
it. Like,
week-
you
Yeah,
know?
right.
I didn't.
Right. Good
I-
point.
and
Good point.
shout out Michigan and Minnesota. Those
Yeah.
guys need some.
Oh
some
yeah,
places to ride,
absolutely.
too.
My Minnesotans for sure.
But if you're coming out here for a week, you have to go to Tulsa. It's not that far. It's
Okay.
It's an
Like
hour and a half if you have a lead foot.
and
Yeah.
it is
It's less than 2
definitely
hours.
like 1,000%
For sure.
worth
That's right.
spending a day there. It is cool as shit, and it was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Yeah,
It's
it's
fun.
worth it. It's
Stoked,
worth the
man.
drive. It's worth the drive.
100%.
Yeah.
When we were
And it gives you a
driving-
reason to wear your goggles.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
busted those
actually-
out in a long time,
It's
guys.
actually dusty.
Your
You
eyes
need
can
it.
water.
You need
Ooh, that
it.
makes-
Yeah.
yeah. It's gonna be good.
When we were driving, we were talking about growing up in San Diego and how we used to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours just to skate a spot for 2
Oh
hours.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Or to surf up the coast sitting in traffic for 3 hours in the morning just to surf for 2 hours. I mean, so it's like
15
that.
miles
Yeah.
is like 45
Yeah.
minutes
you,
to an
it
hour.
could,
Yeah.
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 So there's all these spots.
They have like what 15 miles of trails up there.
I don't know.
Look, Kohler. Everybody in Bentonville. Kohler has like 18, 22.
Yeah.
It's always kind of changing, so we'll just say like 18 if I'm conservative. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, if Turkey Mountain only has 15, like they've both done a really good job. Go ride both.
really
Yeah.
good.
But it's
Right.
just
So
it-
good.
there's just some. It's just different.
Exactly.
It's the same, but it's there's just some.
it's like the
different-
difference in going from
It's just
Bentonville
different.
to Leatherwood. It's the same, but
but
different.
it's different.
Yeah.
Also, shout out
Right.
Lake Leatherwood.
I think
Yeah.
people have to know about like so myself. We like I said, we came down for 4 years for the last 4 years, and I didn't know about that. I feel
You
bad
came in
now.
for 6 weeks.
Yes,
What?
I know, guys.
And
don't
you didn't go there? Like for
know.
one day?
I know. I didn't know it
Like, but
existed.
I'm not like chastising you from it, but it's because you're not aware of it, and we should make
Yes.
some awareness.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
That's what I'm
you
talking
gotta
about.
go to
Right,
Tulsa.
right.
Yes,
It's
yes.
it's a day trip, and you're here for like
I love
a week
that.
and a half.
Well, and
Like,
and
you
hey,
should.
and hey,
Yes.
same goes for Leatherwood, because I think that
Ugh,
you know
that I do know.
100%.
I love Leatherwood.
and this happens, you know. So Bike Fest weekend's coming up. A bunch of people
Yeah.
are going to be traveling.
Yep.
And if you're hearing this, it's tough because you're looking at Bentonville and you're saying, I got to ride all the trails.
Yeah.
I got to fit everything in. I got to go to the Bike Fest. I got to hit up Kohler and maybe go to the top of Thunderdome. But then you also think there's other trails out there.
I mean,
Like
look,
there's got to be something else that keeps these locals happy. What are those things that keeps the locals stoked? You know, and well, one, Kohler's definitely one of them. Like
Yeah.
ride Kohler. If you're coming for Bike Fest weekend, you ride Kohler.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You have to ride Kohler first. It's that. But then outside of that, there's Bentonville. But then outside of that, there's more.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's so much good
Leatherwood.
stuff that's just not talked about. Like
It's- well,
Centennial and Fitz and
yeah,
Leatherwood.
yes, yeah, and then even going down to Fort Smith. I mean, Fort Smith has some trails
Yeah.
down there that are like
they're doing stuff.
Dude,
weird and
Clarksville,
wild.
Arkansas,
and
Yeah.
Clarksville.
Clarksville.
is
Yes.
going off right
Yeah,
now.
we need
Like
to go down
NWA
there.
DH
Yes.
Revolution,
Yes.
building
Yep.
stuff out there.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
All of this
Yeah.
to me is like, I mean, not new, but like I've heard of them, but I've never been to them.
We got
Sunset
lots of
Ridge.
Hey,
day-
it's okay. I
Sunset
We
haven't
got
Ridge.
day
either.
trips that
Look.
we can
Yes,
do,
I
like,
agree.
tons of them.
Yeah.
Shout out Sunset Ridge for doing something a little bit different just inside Missouri. Like it's dirt jumps. It's a little bit Bentonville.
Not
it's a
too
little
far
bit-
away.
It's a little bit
Wait.
Bentonville. It's a little bit Crankworks. It's not too far away. Like
Is that your new trail? The new trail you've been
that's
posting
the stuff
about?
I've been
the
working
teaser?
on. Yeah.
Okay.
So like
Oh.
I'm not working on it anymore. They got like a more legit trail company to come out just to get things rolling a
yep.
little bit better.
Sure.
Cool.
And like the shit is real. The shit is real.
Shit is real.
Your videos look
That's
pretty
there
sick
are-
of
that's
it.
a- that's
So.
a fire
No
comment.
tabletops.
No tabletop.
No tabletops.
It's all just
Yes.
like gap
Okay,
dirt
and-
jumper
and-
jumps.
And
Yeah.
there is
Have you seen 'em?
there is a green line out there. It's
Have you
The
seen it?
videos.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I didn't see I didn't know if that was everything.
It's
so
good
that's
stuff.
good to know.
Like
yeah.
straight up,
It's
whenever
exciting.
I was like earlier, like I'm still working on the more up jumps. Like that is the place that I have specifically in
That's your
mind.
up
Is
jumps.
I'm still learning how to wrap my head around Sunset Ridge, and it's new and
That's
like,
good.
I've been fortunate enough to be a small and founding part of it, and like, guys, I can't ride it well, and it excites me to no end.
No, that's good. That
That's a challenge
adds.
for you. That's
It
so
adds to
exciting.
my point that I was
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
earlier. Like it's like admit that you suck a little, but it will make you a better rider.
Exactly.
Because you're letting that guard down,
Oh.
and maybe you can get past the guard that's
Yeah.
holding you up this whole time. You know, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
No,
No,
absolutely.
you're talking to all
No.
four of
Yeah,
us,
we're all
and
there.
Yes.
you know whoever.
I remember the other day I was like, help me get taller in my jumps.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I'm
Yeah.
still working on that. Like,
Yeah.
and it's scary. Like, and like I definitely come from a place of I'm like I'm a little I'm afraid because I don't want to hurt myself. I'm old,
Yeah.
getting older, and they hurt a lot more when you hurt yourself.
Yeah.
But
Fact.
But like that being said, like yeah, absolutely. I was like, hey, can you help me get taller? Like
Yeah.
you know, I can clear it or I can get a little steezy, but there's so much more to work on, and it's exciting to think about those things. So
Yeah.
That's what's weird about coaching too, is sometimes people think like, yeah, in a 3-hour session, which shout out Ozark Bike Guides for employing me as a coach. It's super great of them, and like our sessions are 3 hours, and I always leave with kind of like, look, I can't necessarily teach you how to jump in 3 hours,
Mhm.
but I can give you the tools to work on that will get you there.
Foundation.
And
Yeah.
so
That's
That's
right.
what it's all about.
that's something that's you're talking about getting taller. And it's like, yeah, I can tell you exactly what to do. I can show you on video, but like
Yep.
ultimately you have to feel it. You have to feel safe doing it, and that takes time.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
Sessioning.
Like,
it.
so
Absolutely.
take your time. Like
Mhm.
enjoy riding your bike. It's not
Yes.
just like, oh, I gotta be as good as my friends. Like, who gives a shit?
That's a really good call out though, because we get in our heads and I'm like, I gotta do this now, but no,
Yeah,
I live.
like,
It's
no,
all good. There's
go
time.
on.
Have fun.
live to see another day.
Yeah.
Live to see another
yeah,
day. That's
absolutely.
right.
Ride your bike
That's
for
right.
fun. That's what we did as kids. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
all our bikes are tools for fun, unless you're like a masochist and are climbing or are getting paid to like compete. If you're getting paid to compete, like
Distance.
more power to you. It's
Yeah.
a different kind of gnarly. It's not for me, but like still, those guys make time to ride for fun.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So why shouldn't us mere mortals that are trying to learn and progress on bikes and race local enduro series, like who gives a shit about your skill level? How many times did you smile?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what it comes down to. And
Absolutely.
sometimes
Yeah.
all this like GoPro and digital creator and or
Dude, I
video
hate the term
all-
influencer.
influencer, all
Yeah.
this stuff, and it's like, man, no matter if you do all that stuff or some of that stuff, dude, the number one priority should be fun first.
Yeah.
Because if you're not having fun, then what are you doing?
Unless
I
you're
agree.
getting
Yeah.
paid to like
Absolutely.
compete and then compete.
Different.
And
Yeah.
then, but like those, like I said, those guys still find time for fun. They're still making those badass little free ride edits or whatever for their sponsors and
Yeah.
stuff. Like they're out there having fun. So.
Yeah. I think it's fun first, and then like footage second.
I
Yeah.
know,
You know what I mean?
know that I have fun first because, example, you and I rode Kohler the other day, and a couple of the runs, I recorded the rest, but not the
The
actual
good, the
run.
good, the good, yeah.
And I go, oh, we got all the rest afterwards.
Yeah.
I got all
That's
that
nice,
stuff. Yeah, but I
Dude.
didn't record any of the freaking run.
Every major crash that has like messed up my body has been that way. My shoulder, I recorded the before, not the actual, and then the after.
Yeah.
My spleen, like it being bye, like same thing. Recorded the before, didn't record the run that took my spleen. Recorded after.
Oh,
But
that's
that's
crazy.
that's
Oh, it's
my
the worst.
elbow nudge to go.
Yeah.
You had fun, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you like put
Yeah.
the recording in the back burner. It's like, hey, it didn't work out.
That's
Yeah.
definitely how I remember those events because I didn't record it. It's like, well, I was having so much fun, I goofed it.
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome though. I love
Yeah.
that.
It's cool.
Since we moved
No
here.
dark clouds.
Yeah. And like since we moved here, like it was a lot of like footy all the time when we were traveling here, right? But
I
now
thought you were
it's
trying
been
to learn the footy.
that too, yeah.
The one footy.
But now it's more like, just enjoying the rides. But I will say now it's been so much fun. Like one of my favorite reels I put together, you were like all the friends were in it, right? And I was like, and I tried to feature every person for this pure enjoyment of everybody having a great time. And that I'm finding so much joy in that,
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I love when we're all having a blast.
It's
Yeah,
so
same.
much easier to make like content with the buddies or something that happened with the buddies than it is to like tag X sponsor or whatever.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, when you try to, and this is not meant to be a dig at anybody specifically, but like,
Scott.
Scott, why you making videos like that? Propping Gnarkansas so much.
I love it.
It's actually a dig towards other people, but
No dig, no ride,
yeah,
right?
That's right.
That was good.
Burn.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you're making like content, we'll call it content for for a brand or something. It's like there is a point where it's like, yeah, this is work because it is work, and there is a sliver, we'll call it a sliver of disingenuousness. But like when you just like were stoked because you did something and you're just like, I just want to show my friends, hey everybody, check out this thing that I did. Like that's the real stoke. Yeah. And it's like, and I think that brands want to capture that. It's like that's the lightning in the bottle that they want to capture. They're like, I want, being like a brand ambassador manager. They're like, can we capture the lightning in the bottle that the writers have when they're just stoked, putting out a clip that they were just stoked on.
Yeah.
Just
You
And-
feel their excitement, right?
Yeah.
You feel the energy.
Yeah, they want that.
Everything
they
that
want
from like
applies
the
like
clip to the song they chose,
all
to
of
what
it.
they wrote
All
in the
of
description.
Yes,
all
Everything
of
just
it.
says
They want that.
That person was fucking stoked.
Yeah.
They want that.
Yeah.
They
I
want
think
that.
so. Like, especially like when you're, there's always a mood that you bring home when you're editing in a song choice.
Yeah,
Like,
totally,
did the
totally.
mood-
Yep.
Because let's be honest, dude. Like, we went out to drop the hammer. Like, what is there, like 12 billion drop the hammer clips?
That's
Yeah,
a fair,
for
sure.
fair
I mean,
number.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
it's
Fair
like
number.
it's like so.
But-
Like, I am totally conscious of the fact that I'm putting out
Another
drop.
yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm like not blowing it, but
That's great.
I'm not putting
so
it out
great.
because it's drop the hammer. I'm
Yeah.
putting it out because I'm like,
I'm
we had
stoked.
fun today.
We had
Yeah,
fun today.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it
we
happened
just
to
so
be
happened
here.
to be at the hammer.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
right,
like,
that's right.
I'm totally aware that, boring, but
Dude,
No, it's
it
not
wouldn't be
Focus on
boring
the
if we
fun
were
we
both
have.
in MC Hammer pants.
yeah.
Oh my god! Please do that.
That-
Please do that.
No, I can't
be
now
so
because
funny.
somebody's
Tomorrow?
Gonna see this
Yeah.
and
Somebody's
steal
gonna
our-
do it tomorrow.
Yeah, I know.
like
Okay.
12
Tomorrow.
billion times.
Great.
Wait,
Yeah.
and you need to have
Wearing
like
Vans.
do your one like something cool and be like, can't touch this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. Oh my
Oh,
god, guys,
yeah.
this has to happen now.
Oh, I can't, but I've already
Oh.
done that. Like 2
In
years
MC
ago.
Hammer
Oh, you
pants?
did?
No.
And
no,
you
but,
didn't
like,
do
MC
I
Hammer
literally like
and a
stopped
nothing.
on the metal
And
part
a
of the hammer
nothing.
and was like, stop. Can't touch this, and then pedaled in. It was super lame.
I see.
I love
It
that
was-
so much though.
You know,
I
because
mean,
like MC Hammer.
I love it.
No.
Time for a
I get
remake.
it now.
Yeah,
I get it.
remake.
Time for me
I
to
get
take
it
a
now.
little. I'm gonna go lose some weight.
Lose
Oh,
some weight.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
if it makes you feel any better, I did the Beastie Boys drop on the drop the hammer.
That
And
was
it's like,
genius. I
Yeah.
love this. Yeah.
So that was corny.
Yeah, that was really bad.
I love. Okay, so I did. Since we're speaking of this, like I just did one with a girl's like a full pull through the hammer, and it was RESBCT. So I thought it
that's
was
right.
like
That's
respecting
right.
my
That's
ladies,
right.
you
That's
know.
right.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
That's
That's
great.
good.
Yeah.
We
No,
all get cornball.
I'm a
but
big
they're-
fan of like matching songs to
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
the
The vibe.
thing
The
that's
vibe.
happening.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do the same
have
thing.
to
It's
see it.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Me too.
Very good.
But yeah, man, I think shout out to David, Bad David.
David Walker, the
Yeah,
third.
David Walker.
Yes.
Like he's
Turkey-
doing an
Third.
amazing
Our Turkey
job in
Mountain
Tulsa
contact, yeah.
and
Oh, nice.
advocating everything there.
Yeah, and Ryan.
And he's such a rad dude.
Uh-huh.
Like, you could call him at the drop of a hat. It seems like, and he like he spent all day with us, all
He's-
day.
He's been nothing but nice.
When we were gassed and
Yeah.
wanted to just chill, he chilled. When we were ready to go, he was ready to go.
Yep.
And
when we were ready to go to the brewery after, he was ready.
he
to
was
go to
ready
the
to go.
brewery
Ready to
after.
go. Yeah.
yeah, like
Nice.
and great host, good time, and I love what he's doing out there, man. The
Yeah.
trails are awesome.
Does he
Yeah.
run the social media too for them?
I don't think he runs the social media. So there's a Turkey Mountain,
Yep.
and then there's
And
Cold Turkey, which they just started last year for the first time.
Got
And
it,
That's,
okay.
That's how we hooked up with them. Actually, we hooked up with them because we were telling the origin story of how we hooked up with Turkey Mountain, and that was with Nick
Oh.
Baker. Shout out to Nick.
Mm-hmm.
He took one of our jump clinics last year, and he had a little accident. So I spent the day with Nick at the hospital, and like
Whoa.
I spent hours with Nick, and
Yeah.
we
Oh,
bonded.
yeah.
We had a good time, and then David reached out to us and said, "You seem like a nice dude. You like spent all this time with my friend
That's
Nick, and Nick's
rad.
my buddy."
That's
I
rad.
was like, "Well, I like people, and I genuinely
about
care.
him.
I don't want
Yeah.
Right.
like." So David and I hooked up, and he said, "We're doing this cold turkey. I hear you have airbags." We came, we set up all our bags for cold turkey, and it's been kind of a good relationship from there. I've gone
Yeah.
out there a few times since then, and just ridden, hung out.
And Nick is rad too, man. Like just
Yeah, Nick-
totally happy, dude. Like let's do it.
Nick
dude.
was like, "I'm gonna
Yeah.
try one hander."
And he just does
Was
it.
he good?
And then he's
Oh my
like,
God.
I can't believe I did
I'm
it.
gonna
We're
try
all
hangman,
laughing.
and he like let go of his
Yeah.
hand and his foot.
Yeah.
He was,
Oh my gosh.
and then we
That's
hit
great.
Boomtown,
sick.
and he was doing one-handers on Boomtown.
Yeah.
Dude, Boomtown is so good.
Boomtown.
A wild
Yes,
animal.
dude.
Hitting that thing blind and clearing everything was like
So fun.
an
That's
epiphany.
great. That's
Yeah.
great.
Validation that everything I've done the past 5 years
So
was
fun.
worth it.
So fun.
It's like a strong
working,
blue
Peter.
trail, but
Also,
it's
you're-
fun.
So
His
when
dog
he was
totally
doing
met me
one
at the garage.
handers, was he like,
Oh, nice.
was he steezy before, or he just like
We-
letting all caution to the wind? Let's do this.
We did a lot of airbag time. So
Oh,
we,
okay, got it.
we did the first session on the
Yeah,
bags
are you
of
talking
like
about Nick?
Nick.
Yeah.
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 first session was like, we're going to practice just boosting and getting higher. And James did an epic demonstration. So we did that. And then we broke into 2 groups. What do you want to learn? And more than half the group, 80% of the group said, I want to learn how to whip.
Yeah.
So James took them. And then there was 2 dudes who said, I want to learn how to tabletop.
Yeah.
So I took these 2 dudes. And there's another guy named Zechariah. And we taught the 2 dudes how to tabletop. So we kind of broke up and did some
Embarrassed to say, I can't table. Yet. To be positive about it, I can't
Let's
table
go.
yet.
Let's go.
Yeah, you're
So-
gonna get.
So
I
we-
have 100%.
We spent a lot of time on the bags. And then Nick was just like, I want to do a one-hander.
Yeah.
Pyah!
It was great.
Oh my
I-
god,
I want to do
that's
one-footer.
amazing.
Pyah!
I talked him through the one-hander real
I
quick.
love it.
Of course, gave him the 20-minute talk because I over-explained everything. And he did a one-hander first try. Did the same thing with a one-footer.
And then-
He did a one-footer first time, and I was like joking, like, dude, you should try a hangman. And he was like, what's that? I'm like, dude, it's a 1 foot, 1 hand, same side, and you're already taking off the same side. And he was like, okay. First try, dude does a hangman.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
awesome.
yeah.
That's great.
He was
Yeah.
such.
And he did like
That's
That's
amazing.
he
Yeah.
did like 8 more of them.
We did.
Uh-huh.
We did.
That's great.
Oh my
Dozens
gosh.
of laps.
Yeah.
And
So
then we
good.
said, now let's go up to the top of the hub. And then I followed him, and he was
Yeah.
sending his.
Yeah,
That's
he was
great.
great, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah, his
Everybody in
vibe
the
was
clinic
so
was like,
cool.
Dude.
actually shredding.
And then Nick and I on Black Gold, I took the alternate line. Maybe a little bit slower than I should have. And so like Nick is crossing and like his back tire is like inches from my front tire and I'm just like, yeah.
Watch this clip. He's coming, and all of a sudden, Nick just comes flying right in front of him.
Oh
Dude,
my
it's
God,
so
sick.
good.
It was
Like,
so
This
close to being a disaster.
Like tire to tire.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him the whole
wow.
time, and I was trying to time it because it was like, okay, if I
With-
stop, I'm screwed. If he like slows down,
Yeah.
Right.
It turned out perfectly. I decimated the backside of the next jump. I'm so sorry, Turkey Mountain.
Sorry, guys.
But
you got some work to do.
Yeah.
dude, it was so much fun. It was a good clip. Nick was killing it. Everybody at that clinic absolutely killed it, and you did too, bro.
That's great.
crazy. That's awesome.
You did too in spirit.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, can't wait.
Next time.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a blast.
We're
Yeah.
probably heading out there once a month. They want us back.
Dude, let's do it.
That's
Oh,
great
fun.
to hear.
Yeah.
That's great to hear.
Man, that's cool.
That's great. Well, guys, we've well exceeded 2 hours.
Yeah.
Have we?
Wow.
Absolutely.
is
I
that
told
the-
you.
Is that the limit?
Did I not? I told you it
You
was going to
did.
happen. I said next
Yeah.
thing you know,
Yeah.
hours will have passed, and you didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's all the pee breaks.
It's all. It actually would help.
Yeah.
It would help me too because I need to take a pre-break and I can't control this podcast
Bro,
and
you,
pee at the same time.
you got to train Scott.
Yeah.
You know, I've given him a lot of responsibility on this one, so we'll.
Just pee in your pants, dude.
That's what all the cool people are doing.
That is, you're right.
Cool.
You're right. is
Don't
what
you
the
remember the South Park episode about condoms and they were all just peeing in them? Like,
I was
do
thinking
not.
more Adam Sandler, Billy
Yeah.
Madison.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I could provide everybody with condoms, and then we had to pee in them, and that's just a mess that we'd have to clean up later.
That's
Maggie, we're sorry.
I did not sign a waiver
I don't
for
want to
that.
see that.
It's under the table. You wouldn't.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
This guy's right there. Okay. Like,
They've been peeing this whole time.
I'm peeing my pants right now.
Yeah.
I believe it.
It's cool.
let's not end on pants peeing right now.
right. We can. That sounds like an
ending it on
Or we could,
appropriate
I guess. Yeah.
appropriate show for Gnarkansas.
Yeah.
Peeing
We're
your
gonna have
pants.
to, you're gonna have to check the box.
So-
Not for
Oh
kids.
man.
I've already checked it.
I don't know. I've seen a
It's
lot of
been
podcasting
changed.
like this. Like, what do you guys have coming up in the near future? And then, maybe we talk about what we got coming up in the near future. Like
that is
peeing
what
in our
happens.
pants.
Like peeing in our pants.
Peeing
Yeah.
in your pants.
And at that note.
Yeah.
But yeah, in all seriousness, let the audience know where to find Olive Yins.
Yins. You used
Yins.
yins.
I did.
Bro, that
Did
is
you know that
so
before
Arkansas.
from our chat?
No, I just a Gnarkansan. Sorry.
Yeah,
What's up,
Narcansan,
Yins?
that's
Just a
sick.
Narcansan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
do,
right.
do you want to start,
Yeah.
Maggie? We'll go around.
I
This
might
Yeah,
be the only
it-
person in the world that actually like uses proper those things that you put in sentences like periods, like
Punctuation.
yeah, punctuation.
That's
I
it.
use,
Does he use them?
Does he though?
I use proper punctuation whenever I type y'all.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. And I
Apostrophe,
appreciate that. I appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Just trying to make the world a better place with proper punctuation.
That's
doing
right.
so
That's
good.
right.
Fifth
That's
grade
right.
English coming back, y'all.
But Maggie, Instagram.
Oh, Bikes, Brews, Base Camp. All my
Gotcha.
favorite things.
Follow it.
Yes.
Follow it. Donut.
Oh gosh, like ADHD MTB underscore MTB ADHD underscore MTB. I'm like number 3 when you type in ADHD, so you know.
So
That's
just
me.
just search ADHD.
Yeah, but also like
Eight-
Matthew Mark
yeah.
Foundation. There's some posts for me on
Yep,
there,
yep,
and then
some
Gravity
collabs.
NWA.
Yep.
Every now and then the Gravity feed from Lake Leatherwood. Shout out Nick out at
Yeah.
Lake Leatherwood. Like, y'all go shuttle, okay? It's
Yeah,
good stuff.
It's good
It's
stuff.
good stuff, and you don't
Mhm.
have to pedal up the hill.
Yeah.
There we go.
Make it easy on yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
And Joe, I know that Donut plugged it,
Yep,
but
Matthew Mark
Say it again.
Foundation.
yep.
.org website, Matthew Mark Foundation Instagram, Matthew Mark Foundation YouTube channel. We have 7 subscribers. Be our 8th.
Yeah.
Oh, please
Yeah.
do. Please
Let's
do.
go.
We got you.
Subscribe to this channel and then that channel.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Gnarkansas, you know.
Yep.
Stoked.
Eventbrite has the
Eventbrite
Mhm.
is on our link under the Matthew Mark Foundation and the Gravity. So Gravity NWA and Matthew Mark right now. I don't know when it's going to be phased out. 5, 6 months, 3 months, 4 months. At some point.
6.9 months.
Whenever it happens.
But I will.
Yeah,
But
right.
I'll just keep it going as it's going because we keep getting new followers on Gravity all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm like,
we'll just-
it's an Instagram handle.
No.
I'll keep
Yeah.
it. I'll keep it
It'll
going.
happen. Yeah,
It's
it'll
fun.
happen.
And I'm sure he
Yeah.
won't plug
Right.
himself. So at Joseph Olivarez on Instagram.
I do
That's
have a
right.
personal
Wait,
Instagram.
I don't
Yeah.
even
Do
know.
you-
Alrighty.
You
Okay,
know
as
now.
I go to my
It's-
phone and
you
I'm
know,
like,
it's
I'm following
tiny.
you.
I just
have,
got you one more follower.
That's right.
I have 238 followers. I'll have 239.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Betcha.
There we
Yes.
go.
We're
Joseph
all curious
Olivarez.
about what's on there. Yeah.
Family stuff. My kids,
Make it the
my
kids
wife.
stuff. That's
Honestly, it's
Good.
better content
It's-
than what we make for Matthew Mark or
it's-
Gravity NWA.
Yeah.
It's just so wholesome.
It's wholesome.
So
Family-
great.
All
family
kinds
stuff.
of Joe Joy sounds.
That's right. That's
Sometimes
right.
sometimes I play piano on that beast.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's
we
Scott,
nice.
where do we follow you, bro?
Mm.
Rips MTB.
That's where he's at.
Yeah.
RIPS. Rip for Ripple.
He's just preparing for his death on mountain bike.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait,
Rips.
are we talking
That's
like
dark. Got
death?
dark
It all
fast.
makes sense.
No.
At the end of the day.
After when
Yeah.
he's dead, it's like rips. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
All makes sense.
Yeah.
It's my farewell
Can,
page.
can I plug one more thing?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
June 1. So we're trying to follow the Bentonville calendar for our programming for our flagship, which I should have said at the beginning, is a at-risk youth mentorship and mountain biking program that we're teaming up with Pedal It Forward.
All right.
Yeah.
Pedal It
Oh,
Forward is
cool.
going to hook us up with bikes. We're going to get a list of students. We already might have a list. I was telling
Yeah.
Maggie
Okay.
on the way over
Excited.
here. I was talking to Kenny yesterday.
All
from
right,
Pedal It
Kenny.
Forward.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, you want a group of kids? You want at-risk kids? I just got an email yesterday from a buddy of mine who works with at-risk youth in Springdale, former students who are just getting out of juvenile hall. And he
Rad.
said, I have all these kids that I'm mentoring. Do you know any organization in town that will give them mountain bike lessons?
Mm.
And we're like, Kenny was like, dude, do you
You're
want
like,
your first cohort?
bro,
Don't
I
you
got
first group of
you.
kids?
Yeah.
So that might be our first. So we're trying to go by the school district calendar. So June will be our first kind of
Okay.
inception group of students coming through and
Yeah.
and mentoring.
That's
that'll be our
so
first
rad.
thing. And that's
Thank
on our
you.
website.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's
Sign
awesome.
up on our website.
That is so rad.
Reduced rate family lessons on our website, and then our clinics.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a lesson individual with any of these folks, or you too? I'll set you guys up too.
Yeah.
You know, you can sign up on our
There's the
website.
pressure.
Yeah.
There's the pressure.
Or come on, or
God,
join a
oh my
group.
God.
If you want to
yeah,
come on
join
any
a
of-
group.
If you
Actually.
want to come on our group ride, DM us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
It's
for
kind of like
That's
a
right.
word of mouth group ride that we do also. So
Yes.
let us know
Yeah.
if you want to join our group ride. They're nothing but good fun. And
Yeah,
Mhm.
please come ride with us. The more
Yeah.
the merrier.
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That's right.
Like,
So
the only reason we ride is for post-ride beers. So if you're that kind of person, like,
Yeah.
let's fucking go.
Then you found your group.
Yes.
Yeah, you found your group. Also, that was a joke. We don't just ride for post-ride beers.
That's
We
true.
also ride for Stoke.
We ride for Stoke, but there always is post.
Always, always.
Mhm.
Just
Yes.
FYI.
Yeah.
Speak the truth.
It's the only time
Yeah.
we drink is after we ride.
Yeah.
So
Well, great show, everybody.
Thank
Appreciate everybody
Dude,
for coming.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you all for
so
coming.
much
Thank
for
you
having
Appreciate
me.
very
it.
much.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Yeah.
appreciate
Shout
it.
out
Glad to have you
Gnarkansas.
guys.
Y'all
We
can't
got-
see it on the podcast, but there's a dope ass Gnarkansas deck up there above the computer that's just
Oh yeah, it's up there.
so pretty.
Uh-huh.
It's up yonder.
Yeah.
And there might be more of those. Maybe if you find yourself at Bike Fest weekend in and around Kohler,
You might be lucky enough
Yeah.
to get your hands on one.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. Go listen to the beginning of the
Maybe.
episode to understand
I
exactly what we're
heard.
talking
Yeah.
about.
I just heard some stuff.
I just heard some stuff
Yeah.
busted on this podcast.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I heard some things.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks for coming in the chat. Great chat activity. We're stoked.
Everybody go fast. Don't die.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Okay. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.